here we are. Got to do one more quick thing here. You guys are seeing a little behind the scenes because you get to see some of my presenter notes. One of the cool things about, actually on this presentation, I won't actually be able to see the presenter notes, unfortunately, but it is fun to be able to see presenter notes. Now, I will do Q&A at the end of this presentation. I have so much to share with you. It's unbelievable the amount of stuff that, I have to share with you tonight. New stuff, brand new stuff, never shared this before, and I'm really excited about it. So hold your questions. Go ahead and ask them if you want to ask your questions now. There'll probably be, hundreds, if not several hundred questions in the queue here. I can already see nearly, there's already been like 700 posts from you guys telling me who you are and where you're from. So I will go through that at the end. We'll stay as long as we need to get through your questions. So my name is Ezra Firestone. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you being here. I'm an e-commerce expert. I own several e-commerce businesses. I'm really good at documenting what I'm doing in my e-commerce businesses. And I don't just talk about this stuff, right? I'm not just one of these experts who talks about this stuff. I actually go out there and do it. I'm a professor for the Shopify e-commerce university. I'm a published author on practicalecommerce.com. I'm well known in the industry. I speak at all the events all around the world. Like, this is what I do. This is what I love. And I'm very, very good at it. And I take it very seriously. So the stuff that you're going to be hearing from me tonight is based on my experience, my own experience in my business. Just last week, my wife and I took a trip to Japan. It was really, really fun. This is us hanging out at the top of the Lost in Translation Park Hyatt there in Tokyo. And I think that my computer screen might be frozen, so let's check on that. What are you guys seeing? Are you seeing you guys are seeing it now. Okay, great. Maybe running a little bit of a lag time, but that's okay. So this is us hanging out at the top of the Park Hyatt there in Tokyo, which is where the Lost in Translation was shot. This is us hanging out in a ryokan, or that's Carrie actually taking a picture out of the window in one of these ryokan hotels, which I was somewhat uncomfortable in because I can't really sit on the floor all day. There's a lot of in Japan a lot of the houses don't actually have beds and stuff. They don't have chairs and things like that. A lot of people just sit on the floor, and so their hips never tighten up, I guess. But I had a hard time in that place. I couldn't sit down. This is me this is all going to make sense, by the way. It's all part of what I'm talking to you about. In one of these onsen spas in the mountains of Japan, they have these onsen spas. And this is like a natural hot spring. So it's snowing outside, and you're in this natural hot pool, and really, really cool. I had some little irritations on my skin that disappeared. And this is Carrie and I goofing around in one of the ryokans. She's a brilliant movement artist, and I kind of sometimes try to act like I can do that stuff too. And what is going on? Why did my webinar close over here? There it is. Okay. And this is the Tokyo Fish Market. And the Tokyo Fish Market is a really wild and scary place. And this is like a giant big piece of tuna that they were hacking into. And so I'll tell you why I'm telling you about this. The reason is, while I was over there, what I realized was that, oh man, we've maxed out, guys. We're at 1,000 people plus. So people are not going to be able to get in. And let me just close this out here. We have maxed out. All right. So one of the things I noticed, this here, by the way, on the left is Jiro. He dreams of sushi. Highly recommend that you watch that movie as an example of this. But the Japanese culture has a strong focus on craftsmanship. When they do things, they do it really, really well. They do them really, really well. And it's a big thing over there. And e-commerce is my craft. I am very, very good at it. I make a lot of money doing it, which is kind of the sort of proof that I'm really good at it, right? But it's not just about the money. It's about the craft. I study this stuff. I train really hard at it, and I put a lot of attention on it, and I pay attention to what's working, and I test things, and I have a whole team that's dedicated to working with me on this, and we're very serious about this craft of e-commerce. And so the things that I'm going to be sharing with you are based on results that we are getting in our business. Now I can show you how to sell. I grew up selling at the flea market with my dad. We used to pack up we'd pack up all of our stuff at 4 a.m. in the back of our truck. We'd drive it down to the flea market. We'd make sure we got the corner spot so that we could have, the most traffic, because the corner spot had the most traffic. We'd build our tent out of these, rods. It wasn't like we didn't have pop-up tents. And I'd make the signs. I was split testing marker versus crayon, and we would, build our stores, and we'd sell our goods. And that's how, I started selling when I was 5 or 6 years old, and I sold I've been selling since then. And that's really where I kind of cut my teeth on selling, was at the flea market. And my family, I'll tell you what we're going to get to in just a moment. But first, I want to take you through some of my history. I come from a long line of merchants. My great grandfather, so my dad's dad, was a trader. And what he would do is he would take leather goods from his home country in Europe, in Eastern Europe, and he would put them in a horse-covered wagon with his kids. He'd drive 2 weeks to Vienna, and he would have that leather turned into boots. And then he would drive that leather back on his wagon, selling the boots to anyone he saw on the street as he drove by. And he would trade, once he got back to his town, he'd trade those boots for more leather. So he'd make the leather more valuable by having it turned into boots, and then he would trade the boots for more leather. And he'd kind of live on the spread, and that's how he did it. My grandfather, so my father's father, was a clothing merchant. He was he sold schmatas, he sold clothes, and he'd buy surplus material from people in Midtown. He'd bring it down, he'd have it sewn up, and he had a shop on Orchard Street. And his traffic source was the people walking on Orchard Street. That's how he got visibility. It's how he made sales, was the people shopping on Orchard Street. And this was in the 40s and 50s, he would sell a fully tailored woman's blouse for $3. And then my dad obviously was a flea market merchant. What we would do is how when there's two teams that win the Super Bowl, I was 6 years old. He would do this. I would just tag along, and I got pretty good at selling because of it. The teams that win the Super Bowl, they print out 2 sets of T-shirts. They print out one set for the people who win, and one set for the other team, even if they, so that as soon as a team wins, there'll be shirts for that team. And so we'd get like the shirts of the team that didn't win. We'd be selling those. And, and so my dad was a merchant. So, many generations of merchants in my family, and now me, I sell online. Now I'm doing the same thing I was doing when I was 5 years old, where I'm building my store and I'm making offers to groups of people, except for I'm doing it, I have the access to the entire United States. I can sell to anyone in my first world nation. Whereas, the merchants that came before us, my dad, even just 20 years ago, could only sell to his local area. My grandfather could only sell to the people on Orchard Street. And so we have this opportunity where we today as merchants can sell to anyone in our first world nation. And what's happening over the next 3 years, e-commerce is globalizing. So any merchant in any first world nation will be able to sell to any other person in any other first world nation through companies like Amazon and stuff like that. So it's a really cool time to be selling stuff. And the things that I'm teaching you tonight can be very useful to you over the next 3, 4, 5 years. You've got to think a couple years ahead in this business. And I don't just talk about this stuff. I go out there and do it. This is me at Amazon, went and talked to them about one of my e-commerce businesses over at Facebook, doing some stuff with those guys. And Pinterest is going to be next, and I'll tell you about that in just a moment. Actually, Pinterest reached out to me. I'll tell you this. I want to finish my train of thought before, and then I'll tell you about what Pinterest said and how I talked to them yesterday. I just talked to Pinterest literally yesterday, and I found out some wild stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. But my point was that you have not missed the boat with e-commerce, and you're going to hear me talk about some stats in a moment about that. But if you're willing to actually do what I show you tonight, you will be able to make a lot of money. you'll be able to do really well and build a business for yourself. And it takes time, energy, and effort, but it's not that difficult to do. And you can do it, and you haven't missed the boat. And I've been telling people there's always a new system. There's always something exciting and new. And this Pinterest training just proves it. Everyone's saying, oh, I kind of missed the 3-cent clicks on Facebook. Well, of course, we're still getting really cheap clicks on Facebook, but you haven't missed it. There's always something new and cool, and the opportunity is only growing. So anyways, let's keep on with the presentation now that I've kind of told you, gotten you a little excited, which is that I talked to Pinterest yesterday. So this guy reached out to me. He's the head of one of the heads over there at Pinterest. He reached out to me on LinkedIn, and he said, hey, I saw that case study that you did. I'd love to get on and chat with you and talk to you about what you're doing on Pinterest. And I was like ecstatic about this because I'm really interested in talking to Pinterest because their platform is performing so well, and I think that they're sort of like the next big opportunity for e-commerce business owners. Even though that we have a lot of big opportunities in front of us, Pinterest is a huge one. So a little bit later in the call, I'm going to tell you what they told me. And what this guy told me, one of the things he told me was a way that can give you a really good chance of getting access to Pinterest ads before anyone else. So that's kind of cool, and I'm going to share that a little bit later on. So hang tight for what Pinterest told me. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to be giving away an iPad Air tonight, and you could win it. I may even give away 2 or 3. It depends. So all you got to do is upload a selfie or a pic of your screen or your desk showing that you're here and you're watching with the hashtag SmartMarketer and tag at Ezra Firestone. Tag me on either Facebook or Twitter. And at the end of the call, we'll go through it. We'll look at the pictures and we'll decide which one should win based on how funny they are and kind of what's going on. And any picture could win. By the way, it doesn't have to be funny. Selfies are appreciated because those are fun. It's always fun to see your face, but you got to be on. If you're on at the end of this call and you do this, you upload a selfie, you could win an iPad. And I usually tend to give away more than one prize. So that will be fun. So please upload a selfie or a picture of your screen with the hashtag SmartMarketer. Go ahead, tag me on Facebook or Twitter. We'll take a look at some of you towards the end and we'll give away the iPad. So that'll be really fun. So go ahead and do that. By the way, we are maxed out. We have 1,000 people on this call, and we can get no more. We're completely at max, which is incredible and sort of unfortunate for all the people who are trying to get in who can't get in. So those of you who showed up early, good on you. Now let's talk about what we are going to be covering on tonight's Pinterest ads workshop. I need to do one thing before we talk about that, which is move this guy over here. And move this guy over here. Okay. So here's what we're going to be covering tonight. I'm going to talk to you about the state of e-commerce. So where we are in the history of e-commerce and the e-commerce life cycle. Some of you heard me at ASM, heard a little bit of this. This will be quick. I just want to kind of bring you up to speed if you don't actually know kind of where we are in the life cycle of e-commerce. I'm going to do an advertising case study. I'm going to show you an ad campaign and a case study of a sales funnel and exactly how I did it and exactly the sales pages that I used and the whole thing. I'm going to break it all down for you. I'm going to give you the name of the funnel and everything. I'm going to give you a full Pinterest advertising tutorial. I'm going to show you how Pinterest ads work and how to set up a campaign on Pinterest ads and what to put in and what to press and all that stuff, how to target and that kind of thing. And I'm going to show you my winning e-commerce sales funnel, the one that's performing really well right now. And I'm also going to give you an opportunity for more in-depth training with me. So if you want to go deeper in Pinterest ads beyond just this call, I'll give you that opportunity at the end of the presentation. So let me tell you a little bit about this Pinterest thing. Let me tell you a little bit about Pinterest just so that you're like aware of what we're dealing with here. So 80% of Pinterest users are female. 80% women on this platform, which is incredible. 18 to 45 is really their age demographic. Absolutely incredible from an e-commerce perspective because women are great buyers. Now check this out. 88% purchase a product that they have pinned, and some bigger percentage, some slightly smaller percentage, somewhere around 60%, purchased 5 products they've pinned. So Pinterest really does drive buying behavior in a way that no other platform does. People go to Pinterest to look for products and to pin products and to relate with products and experiences that they want. It really drives buying behavior in a way that no other social network does. On Shopify, if you look at all of Shopify's referral data, I know the guys at Shopify real well. fantastic platform. I highly suggest you get on it. And in fact, if you want to be on Shopify, I've got a discount coupon from them that'll give you 20% off and for life and a 45-day free trial. It's just shopify.com/smart-marketer, and I'll paste that up later. But if you look at the referral data from Pinterest to Shopify, Pinterest users spend on average $40 or $80 on average per sale from Pinterest, compared to Facebook, who only spends $40. So it's double the average sale of Facebook, the referrals, which means that they're just really, really good buyers on Pinterest. And it's the fastest growing social network by percentage. So as far as membership percentage growth, they grew like 57% in the last couple months, and they're just compared to Facebook's 8% growth. So Pinterest is growing really, really fast, and it's not just women; lots of men are joining it too. It's viral. It's really viral. So 80% of pins are repinned. So one of the cool things about advertising a pin, which I'm going to show you how to do a little bit later, is that you get a whole bunch of free organic traffic from it because people repin that. They find it, and then other people find it in search and on their boards, and you get a bunch of free organic traffic from it. And the most beautiful part, and I think one of the reasons why it's so beautiful for advertising, is that it's truly, truly native, meaning the user base who is on Pinterest cannot really tell much of the difference between an actual pin and a promoted pin. It's really hard to tell the difference between the two, and so it makes it great for advertising. Now, to give you some comparison on virality, if you look at Twitter, 1.4% of tweets are retweeted. 80% of pins are repinned. It's crazy how viral Pinterest is. So it's an incredible, incredible platform, and it's only growing, which is super, super exciting. And by the way, the ads have only been available for 6 weeks. I just talked to the Pinterest guy yesterday, and man, on Monday they rolled out conversion tracking. Like, they're just rolling out new stuff all the time, and it's just in its very, very early stages. So I'm going to be telling you more about that as we go. But now I'd like to tell you a little bit about the life cycle of e-commerce. Just quickly, show you where we are in the world of e-commerce so that you can understand e-commerce. I'll tell these stories somewhat quickly so I can dig right into the Pinterest stuff. But I do want you to thoroughly understand where you fit into the life cycle of e-commerce. And e-commerce is all about timing. It really is. Business is all about timing. I'm going to tell you the story of Johnny. How you doing? This is a picture of me when I was 19 years old. And you see that curl right there? That was not by accident. I worked really hard to get that curl. I was trying pretty hard to be cool in this picture, and it was pretty funny. I like to look back on it because it shows it's just a funny time. But anyways, so I used to play poker for a living in New York City. I moved to New York City when I was 18 years old, and I was playing poker at these underground clubs. I wasn't old enough to play at a casino. And I was playing pretty high stakes, and I got invited. The higher stakes games are kind of run by they're underground clubs, and they're run in the New York City underground. And I got invited to this game that was run by a guy called Vinny DeLimo. We had Sonny Franchise and Frankie Bananas and Timmy the Tooth and Paulie Walnuts and Jimmy Two-Tone. You had all these guys. They called me Johnny. How you doing? Because I was really nervous, and I would always say, how you doing? How you doing? Anytime I won a hand, I'd say, how you doing? Because that's what they all said. These guys were like slick back hair, big wads of cash, gold chains, real big guys. And I could not win at this poker game. I could not win at this poker game. And I couldn't figure out why. And it turns out I just wasn't good enough to be playing there. But I read this book, and it said, hey, why don't you, as I do when I get into something, I really study it and I read stuff about it and I get good at it. It said, why don't you go ahead and show up at the game after everyone has had a chance to kind of get drunk and lose some money. So I started going to sleep at 6 p.m. on Saturdays, waking up at 1 a.m. and going to this game. And immediately I started winning. And the reason was because that was the right time for me to be playing in that game. I needed to wait till these guys were drunk. That was the only way I could win. And the same thing goes for e-commerce. This is my e-commerce company. Many of you know about it. I'm going to be talking a lot about it in this presentation, actually, because it's the example that we're using. But this company blew up. And the reason it blew up is because it was the right time for this message. This is a pro-age cosmetic company. So in Western society, men are valued for production. So as I get older as a man and as I make more money, I get more power in the eyes of society. Whereas in the eyes of society, women are valued for youth and beauty. Now, that's not actually true. It's not a viewpoint that we subscribe to, but it is the way that society views men and women. And so in America, we've got 80 million baby boomers. Half of them are women, and they're all collectively having the experience of their hair graying, their skin wrinkling, and their bodies aging, and society treating them differently as a result of it. And all the messaging out there is all anti-age, anti-wrinkle. This thing that's happening to you is bad. You got to stop it. Like, it's all pretty much anti-women. And so, Cindy Joseph, who you see in this picture, who's my business partner and one of my closest friends, when I moved to New York, I moved in with her because she was a friend of my family. So I moved in with her, and we kind of became best friends. And we were a bit of an odd couple. I was 18 and she was 54, and we were like, combined, joined at the hip. And so we'd have all these conversations about ageism and all kinds of stuff. And we decided, I said, hey, Cindy, you used to be a super famous makeup artist. You made up all the big models in the 80s, Cameron Diaz and all these people. And now you're used to be a makeup artist, not model. Now, and you used to be a makeup artist, and now you're a supermodel. She's a very famous fashion model, Cindy. She's in big billboards on Times Square. She's in all the J. Jill catalogs. Why don't we do a makeup line? And together, because I was learning about e-commerce at the time, this was 2005, 2006, and she was like, well, do you think the world really needs another tube of lipstick? And the answer was no, the world didn't need another tube of lipstick. So what we decided to do was create a cosmetic line around the conversations that we would have about aging. And so this is a pro-age cosmetic line. It's about celebrating you as you are. The cosmetics are sheer. You can see right through them. It's not anti-age. It's not anti-wrinkle. And if you want to check out our website, boombycindyjoseph.com, you can check out a little bit more about it. But this business took off. And it did so well because it was the right time for this message to this market. Now, in e-commerce, when I got started, in 2008, I got started a little bit before that, but in 2008, 4% of total transactions were done online in the United States. So what that means is that of all the transactions happening, of the chips that you bought at the store yesterday, of every transaction that happens, 4% of them were happening online. And from 2008 to 2014, that doubled to 8%. So 8% of total transactions were happening online. And the prediction is that e-commerce is going to double. This is where we're headed. It's going to double in the next 3 years. So that's pretty exciting that global e-commerce is going to double. The curve just keeps going up, you guys. Like, when I got in this thing, it's just been like a straight upward curve since then, and it shows no signs of stopping. So there's plenty of sales to be made. The opportunity to make sales is only getting bigger. If you think you're worried about competition, don't be, because the stuff I'm going to be teaching you tonight is like more advanced than 99.99% of all e-commerce business owners out there. So you're going to be able to be very successful because you're going to learn direct response sales funnels and how to drive traffic. So basically how to get people to see your offers and how to get them to say yes to your offers. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Now I want to give you a quick overview of how I view the e-commerce business here at Smart Marketer so that you understand how me and my team run our e-commerce businesses and kind of what we do and the levels that we go through. And this will lead into Pinterest. We're a couple slides away from getting into the Pinterest stuff. And this is going to make a lot of sense to you, which is there's 3 pillars of e-commerce, guys. There's 3 pillars of e-commerce that are really important today. And the first one is Amazon. The second one is Google and your own platform. And the third one is being represented by Facebook and it's social traffic. So pillar 1, Amazon. Amazon is fantastic. It's great because it's both your visibility source and your sales platform. It's both where you're generating visibility for your offer and where you're collecting your sales. And it's like makes it really easy to sell because of that. You don't have to worry about building your own platform. You don't have to worry about really driving your own traffic. You kind of don't have to worry about anything. And they have visibility of 100 million people in America shop on Amazon every month. I'm a Prime member. My wife's a Prime member. Well, she's the Prime member. I just use her account. I guess it's our account. But everyone I know is a Prime member. Like, everyone is on Amazon. So it's a really great opportunity. And I really do love the Amazon business. I do super well there. We sell a lot of products on Amazon, and we love it, and it's great. Um, it is a little bit, does have a big problem though. It does have one really, really serious problem as an e-commerce business owner. And now, by the way, I highly recommend that you start on Amazon. You start your business on Amazon. If you're a new e-commerce retailer, then you stay there till you're doing 10 grand a month or so. You really stick on that platform until you're in the tens of thousands per month range, because it's the easiest place to get started. And it really is the best place to start as an e-commerce business owner. But there is a big problem. And that is that it's a lot like spear fishing. It's a lot like you're going out and you're spearing a fish today. And if you want to eat again tomorrow, you got to go spear fish. It's just not sustainable. And the reason why it's not sustainable is because it's they have all the control. You've built your house on Amazon's land, and they can come knock it down anytime they want. And that's, that's the trade-off. That's the convenience deception. It's convenient, but it's deceptively convenient, and it's that convenient because they have all of the control. They keep all your customers. They can knock your listing down anytime you want. They'll backdoor you to your supplier and take your listing out like they do. There's stories of people having a really hard time with Amazon, and that's due to them being in complete control. And hey, look, that's okay. That's the deal we made with Amazon. We said we want to sell on your platform. We want access to your customers, and we're going to give up a lot of our control to do that. And I recommend you do it. The way that we fix that problem here at Smart Marketer, the way that we handle the fact that Amazon has all the control, is we move on to pillar 2 of our e-commerce businesses. We build a platform for ourselves. We build our own e-commerce platform. And for that, we use Shopify because we really like Shopify. Again, that was shopify.com/smart-marketer. If you want the 20% off and 45-day free trial, you can use that anytime. The thing about an e-commerce platform, though, is, there's a lot happening, right? You've got your home page and your product detail page and your store blog and your category page and your checkout sequences and your post-purchase pages and your thank you pages. And there's just all these pages that you got to build and all these sort of applications that you have to plug into your store and all this marketing and automation you need. And the thing is, you need more than just a platform. You need marketing, right? You need traffic to it. You need automation. You need post-purchase sales funnels. So it can be a lot of work, but that work is worth it. And the reason that work is worth it is because then you have all the control. Then, just like you're going to see what I did tonight, we've driven about $55,000 in the last 30 days just from Pinterest, just from this one new source. It doesn't even include all the other sales that we get from our other sources and the other traffic methods that we're using. So it really is worth it because you do end up with more control. Now, and I'll tell you guys a little bit more about that as we go. Now, pillar 3. Pillar 3 is contextual traffic and sales funnels. Now, the cool thing about pillar 3 is it can be used with an Amazon business. So if you're just an Amazon business owner, you can still use pillar 3. And guess what? Pillar 3 is where our story takes place tonight. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight, is pillar 3 and how that works. And we're about to dig in to the Pinterest side of things. And by the way, I have never seen this before. Not a single person has left the webinar. Everyone is still here. So all those people, usually people try to dial back in. They try to get in because they figure people will leave. But nobody has left, which is fantastic. And I can already see on my Facebook, I'm getting tagged all over the place. A lot of people are entering into the iPad contest. Again, if you want to enter the contest to win an iPad, go ahead and take a selfie of yourself or a picture of your desk and computer that you're watching our webinar, our training workshop, and upload it to Facebook or Twitter, hashtag it Smart Marketer, and tag Ezra Firestone in it, at Ezra Firestone. Oh my God, my buddy Todd Criney, I just saw is here. Todd Criney is the man. He sells T-shirts and he's a supplier of T-shirts, and Todd's been with me for a while. I love that guy. All right, so let's talk about the Pinterest story. And first I'm going to tell you a little bit about the story, and then I'm going to dig in and tell you exactly how I've done what I've done. So it all starts back in 2013, in September of 2013. Pinterest, the world's 4th largest social network, announced that it was going to be rolling out an advertising platform. And again, 80% women, average household income of over $100,000. So it's kind of like an e-commerce marketer's dream. And the whole point of Pinterest is for users to search and make boards of things they want. And as an e-commerce guy, there's nothing better than a large group of people with disposable income telling me exactly what they want by searching for it. It's kind of like the resurgence of Google. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get in at that time. They were only letting in they were only letting in the big Fortune 500 guys to test. So I kind of had to wait, and I was a little bit sad about that. But what happened was a year later, a year after they announced this, they announced this wait list that joined the Promoted Pins wait list. And I was like, oh my goodness, I am on this now. And so I hopped on that wait list, and I was like super excited because I figured, oh man, I'm gonna get access to it straight away. 9 months later, I got this email that says, hey, you've now got access to Pinterest ads. It took 9 months, won't take you that long, because again, I'm going to share with you what the guy at Pinterest, who I talked to just yesterday, who reached out to me because of my case study, told me about how to get in there, how to have the best chance of getting in early. Now, when I got this access, I felt like I had the golden ticket. I was like so excited. I could not believe it. I was like blown away. I'd finally gotten access to this thing because I had read the case studies, guys, and the case studies about what was happening with Pinterest were ridiculous. What kind of what kind of results brands were seeing. And so I got access to the platform, but now I had to figure out how was I going to use the platform? What sales funnel was I going to test? Should I send people directly to my e-commerce website? How much were clicks going to cost? I was like, I had a lot of questions. And typically for a new platform, I would use a simple lead capture sales funnel where I send from a traffic source right over to a lead capture page. I capture a lead and I follow up with them. And these could be like, social contests, raffles, giveaways that require email opt-ins to enter, like a free ebook or a PDF or a download, and that they have to enter their email address to access the content, or even just like enter your email address to get access to this cool thing. And so that was kind of what I was thinking. Usually social networks like Facebook and stuff are really great for lead capture, where you then follow up with someone. And it's a great way to kind of see how much the clicks are going to cost and how good the leads are going to be and that kind of thing. And I love lead generation campaigns for several reasons. They provide like really quick insight into how much the traffic's going to cost. They generate a list of subscribers that I can follow up with and all that kind of stuff. But they got a serious problem. Lead generation campaigns. They really have a big problem in that they don't make any money. And I like to have my marketing turn a profit if I can possibly make it happen, especially right away. I like to do direct response advertising where I see a profit immediately. Now, I'm quite good at long form follow-up sequences, and I'll talk to you guys about that, and I'll show you how to generate a lead and turn that lead into a customer. But I figured, you know what, man, for this new platform, why don't I go back to my roots? Why don't I go back and just do straight up direct response? And here's the real reason, guys, I'll be honest. The real reason I did this was because a lead generation campaign to a long form follow-up sequence with like email autoresponders and webinars and sales videos and all that kind of stuff in the follow-up sequence, which we use for our e-commerce e-commerce stores. We do all this direct response marketing, but it takes a lot more time and energy than a direct response campaign where you're literally just sending, trying to make a sale right out of the gate. So now, before I break down the direct response sales funnel, which I'm going to break it down in great detail, let me show you the results of what happened. Let me show you what happened with this campaign. I am getting 17-cent clicks, $1,000 for 6,000 clicks. Unbelievable. The cheapness of these clicks with the quality of the traffic. Now, here's what's interesting. Pinterest said they only sent me 6,000 visitors so far, and this is updated, right? This is a couple, as in the last couple. In the case study, it was only 4,000, but it's been a couple of days since then. And we've actually figured out a way, which I'll show you, to get even more traffic from Pinterest. That was our big problem. We couldn't get enough traffic. Check this out. My Google Analytics is showing me double, a little bit more than double what Pinterest says they sent me, and that's kind of typical with these new advertising platforms. they tend to, when they're just rolling out, send you more traffic than they think they're sending you, which is cool. So I actually was spending 9 cents a click. Now check this out. On that $1,000 in ad spend on Pinterest, we generated $25,000 in sales from the sales funnel I'm about to show you. Now, my results are not typical. You cannot expect to make this same kind of money. You got to keep in mind that my market is perfect for Pinterest, right? It's the beauty market. It's perfectly geared towards women. But so these results are not typical, but I'm pretty sure if you use this, you can also make some money. And I got some proof of that because there's other people that I know who are not in the beauty market, who are in other random markets, who are doing quite well with Pinterest as well. Now, here's something interesting. So we spent $1,000 to make $25,000, right? No, we actually made $56,000 because the dangest thing happened, which was as soon as we turn these Pinterest ads on to the Shopify store, our Google organic traffic and our direct traffic, which, by the way, as you can see in the previous period, so I have January 28th to March 11th, which is up until yesterday here, because I started running Pinterest ads on January 28th. The previous period, December 16th to January 27th, for Google organic and for direct traffic, I had almost zero sales. I had nearly zero sales from either of those sources because for this Shopify store, most of our traffic is driven from press and a couple other social sources. And so we're not really doing organic and direct here. But when I started running Pinterest, interestingly enough, those jumped up as well. So I made almost as much money from almost as much revenue, that is, from from direct and organic than I did from Pinterest. So how did I do this? How did this actually happen? Well, I'll tell you, I didn't send people directly to my website, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it. Now, first, I want to get you signed up, set up to get Pinterest ads. That's what we're going to talk about now. One of the things that you need to know about these platforms is that I see this all the time with these social platforms. Is that in the beginning they're really cheap. And they're really easy to generate sales and get a whole lot of traffic. And then the traffic starts to get more expensive over time. We probably have a whole year or two ahead of us with Pinterest based on what I what I heard based on the information I received yesterday from Pinterest. Before it starts getting expensive. So you got plenty of time to get on the wait list and get your ads account and all that kind of stuff. But what happens is they get better at targeting, and they get better at making it easier they get ad conversion tracking. They make it easier for e-commerce retailers to make sales. They make it easier for us to make sales, so they can afford to charge more because we can have a better ROI. So this will, it's not always going to be this way. By the way, I just want to mention to my team, if you're trying to communicate with me, text message is going to be the way to do that because I do not have access to Skype on this other computer. Actually, I'm doing some other stuff on it. So text me if you need me. So they're going to get more expensive, but not for a while. And when it does, targeting will get better. So, and I saw this with Google AdWords. I remember when Google AdWords was 3-4 cents a click, and we were, driving a ton of traffic there. I remember we were driving Facebook sales for under $5 each, and we're still making really good money on Facebook. So you haven't missed any of these opportunities. You kind of missed Google AdWords a little bit. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit later how we're actually running Google AdWords just so you know. So now, before I tell you exactly how we did that, I'd like to get you on the wait list for Pinterest ads, because the sooner you get on this wait list, the sooner you're going to get access to Pinterest ads, and the sooner you're going to have the opportunity to run advertisements on Pinterest and kind of do that. And it's going to be great for you when you get access to this platform. So let's talk about exactly how to sign up for Pinterest ads the right way. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to go to Pinterest. Pinterest.com, and you want to sign up for an account, connect with Facebook, or create a new account. And you want to make sure that you click, you'll click sign up, and then it'll take you to this next page. You want to make sure that you click continue as a business. So make sure you click continue as a business, and also make sure that you put in the name of your company and the gender and demographic of your target customers. So like you can see here for Be Friendly Skincare, which is one of my companies, we put in 44 years old and female, because we want our profile when we look at Pinterest to show what our customers who are looking at Pinterest, the people we're targeting, are going to see as well. So that's why we do that. Then you want to create the business account. So you want to fill out all these details, tell them that you're a brand, put in your email address, put in your website and all that kind of stuff. If you don't have a website, register a domain name, set up a GoDaddy website, set up a Wix website. Actually, take that back. Go ahead and sign up for a Shopify plan because you're an e-commerce business. You're going to need it at some point, and just put up a standard Shopify store. But get yourself a domain name and a website. I would recommend just going with Shopify because you're going to want that. And I will send an email out to all of you on this call with my discount link to Shopify and my free trial so you can get that. And then you have to select what you're interested in. So make sure that you select a bunch of these things so that it will fill out your Pinterest feed with stuff so you can kind of see what other people are advertising to you on Pinterest. Now, once you do this, it's going to take you to this screen, and it's going to say, hey, welcome to your Pinterest business account. By the way, if you already have a Pinterest account, you can convert it to a business account, and I'll tell you how to do that later. But it's going to say, hey, please confirm your email address and please verify your website. So you're going to want to make sure that you do both of those things. You're going to get this email in your email inbox. It's going to say, hey, thank you so much for joining Pinterest. Please verify and confirm your email. So you'll do that. And then it's going to say, hey, here's this little meta tag. When you click this button over here all the way to the right where it says verify your website, it pops up this little box here that gives you a little meta tag. And that meta tag you need to put in the header of your website. And if you sign up for Shopify and you have a Shopify store, I will, you can, it's real easy to do. You just go in and you post it inside of your header so that you verify your website. Now, if you don't have your website verified, it's going to be hard to get access to Pinterest advertising. So you need to make sure you do this. Go buy a domain name, sign up for Shopify with the free trial, set up your Shopify store, and then go ahead and put this tag on your website. Someone tagged me on Instagram. That's not even part of the contest. Although if you do want to tag me on Instagram, I want Instagram followers. I want to get going on Instagram. So it's at Ezra Firestone. Feel free to add me on Instagram. A whole bunch of people tag me on Instagram. Look at that. That's awesome. I had no idea. Look at all these people on Instagram. So yeah, you can do me on Instagram too. Go ahead, take a selfie of yourself or a picture of you and your screen, you and your laptop, and look at this. This is adorable. Kitty y'all. She's got the curl going too. You should go check out my Instagram. There's a funny picture. That's a contender for the iPad there, but we're going to give away a couple iPads, so don't worry. Kitty owl. That's cool. So tag me on Instagram at Ezra Firestone with your picture if you're on Instagram, and follow me there too because I'm going to start releasing marketing stuff there. So then once you have signed up for a business account, you verified your website and confirmed your email, go over to ads.pinterest.com. Ads.pinterest.com. By the way, please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm Ezra Firestone on all of those. I'd love to connect with you on all those networks. So go over and go to ads.pinterest.com, click on join the waitlist, and then it's going to ask you to fill out this form. Now, there's a couple things that you have to do when you fill out this form, okay? This is step 5, fill out the application form, right? So fill it all out, put in all the details that you want to put in, your Pinterest profile, your email address, your name, the whole 9, and then make sure that you put down there that you're willing to spend more than $20,000 per month. I think that might help. We applied for 2 accounts. The second one we put this on and we got it within a month. I have a secret tip for you that I got from Pinterest when I talked to them yesterday. A secret little tip on how to give yourself the best chance of getting in early that I'm going to tell you about towards the end of the call. But this is just another little one here. But the one I'm going to tell you about is much better than that. This is just sort of a little thing, but the one I'm going to tell you about actually will give you serious, put you up seriously at the front of the queue for Pinterest ads. And then basically you're going to get this email that says, hey, thank you so much. After you fill in that form, you'll get this email, and make sure that you get it. If you don't get this email, you need to go back because you did something wrong. And it should say, hey, thanks so much for signing up for Pinterest ads. You're on the wait list. And by the way, if you're not already a business, please create a business account. Now, this is where if you're not a Pinterest business yet, if you're just a normal Pinterest profile, you can easily convert. This email will show you how to do that. And then Soon after that, hopefully, who knows how long, might take a month, might take a week, might take 2 months, but I know they are releasing a whole lot more people into it each week. So it might be quick, especially if you follow my advice on this call. Make sure you get that, and then you'll get that email. You get access to Pinterest ads. And then the last thing that you have to do is make sure that you create at least 5 boards and pin lots of stuff. And I'll get into more details on that shortly. I'm going to take a quick sip of water. And I'm going to spray myself with this handy soothing throat spray. Oh man, that stuff is nasty. That my wife gave me so that I could, more easily do this training, because she knows that it's gonna, it takes me a while to explain all this stuff. So now, guys, why don't we move on back to the sales funnel? So now it's time for me to show you how we got those results, specifically how we did it, exactly how the pages worked, the whole thing. Now, the old model of advertising, and the model that I still use, still works, still do it, you know what I mean? Like if you have to do it, right on, is this model where you run an advertisement and you send people directly to a sales offer. You say, hey, I want you to buy my stuff. Here you go. And this model works much, much better for people who are searching for things. So people who search, who type in, hey, I want a dog bowl, and then you show them an ad for a dog bowl, and you take them to a dog bowl. It's kind of easy, but the interesting thing, and we don't chase our prospects anymore. This is chasing our prospects. The interesting thing about these type of customers is they're not as good as these type of customers. So we have our customers chase us. So what you see here is an ad on Facebook that leads to an article pre-sale page. So a page that engages someone in a conversation, that talks to them about, tells them a story, and that story alludes to a solution, and that solution is obviously your product. That story relates to a problem that your product solves. And what this does is it reverses the frame, which is an NLP term. Basically what it does is it has people click through and chase your product. People start looking for you instead of you looking for them, and they actually go through to your sales page, even if that's on Amazon. By the way, this works brilliantly on Amazon. This is the best way to advertise. You get the highest value customers this way. You get the best repeat customers. Like our customers who buy from us when this sales funnel are the best customers out there. So I'd like to introduce to you this sales funnel. It's called the Dipsy Doodle and the Don Daliber. So this is our sales funnel that we use to drive most of our traffic these days. We call it the Dipsy Doodle and the Don Daliber. So here's how it works. First, it's a traffic source, right? Now, in this case, it's Pinterest ads. I'm going to be breaking down how to do Pinterest ads. But, we use this same sales funnel for Facebook, for Google, for everything. And we also use other sales funnels, but this is our best converting, best working sales funnel. So you send people from a traffic source to a pre-sell engagement page. And I'm going to tell you about how to write those pages and what they need to look like and all that kind of stuff. And this page is really designed to engage them in a story, to talk to them about something, to get their attention, to get them engaged in a piece of content. And by the way, advertising content is a lot easier than advertising products. Advertising networks like Pinterest, like Facebook, like Google, like Twitter love when you advertise content. They don't like it so much when you advertise. I mean, they don't mind, but it's better when you advertise content. It gets shared more, it gets engaged with more. The clicks are cheaper because people are engaging. And content advertising is nothing new. Red Bull does content advertising. They had a guy jump from outer space. What's it called? Soap operas were created as a piece of content advertising by Dove and Procter and Gamble and Johnson & Johnson as a way to engage their community of at the time stay-at-home moms and who were watching television so they could do product placement. So content advertising is like nothing new, but it's very effective if you learn how to do it. And then you move people to a sales page, an offering of some kind. And I'm going to show you what our sales page looks like. It's nothing fancy. And then you move over to a checkout sequence. So after they decide they want your offer, they check out and they buy from you, and then you follow up with your customers. So this sales funnel will make you money if you do it properly. Now, let me break down for you how this sales funnel works, and then let me tell you about every part of it. Let me tell you about the pre-sale page, the Dipsy Doodle pre-sale page, the Don Daliber sales funnel. I'll tell you the whole thing. So the first thing that we do in this case is we have a promoted pin for this particular funnel that I'm showing you tonight. And this is, you can see, people type in fashion for older women over 50 or whatever they type in on Pinterest that we're advertising on. The beautiful thing about Pinterest, by the way, is it is both a query-based traffic source and a contextual traffic source. So when I got started in e-commerce, all we had was query-based traffic. It's the only thing we had access to. We had query-based traffic, which was like people could type in queries on Google and we could show them ads. And we had contextual traffic on Google in that we could advertise to people who were visiting pages about cats and we could show them ads related to cats. But that was only one data point. Now we have multiple data points. And the thing about Pinterest, and what I mean by that is the data point thing is now we can advertise to people based on context, like how old they are, what they're interested in, what they like. So we have multiple data points to make contextual advertising work. But with Pinterest, it's both query-based and contextual. So I can say I want women who live only in New York State who searched for this. On this device. So we get to combine contextual and query-based traffics, which is what makes it so powerful. So in this case, they search for their pin, they search for something they're interested in. Boom, my promoted pin shows up. Guess what? It looks just like every other pin on the page. So that's kind of cool, and it gets a real high click-through rate because of that. Then they click over to my article landing page, which, by the way, is just an article on my blog. And you will notice there's not even a click-through above the fold. You cannot click through to my sales page over to my store unless you scroll on this page. And that is sort of against most people, most marketers would tell you must have a call to action above the fold. Well, I've actually found that moving my call to action below the fold is out converting in this case because I want to engage people in a story before I try to pitch them on something. And then once they actually do click through on this page, and don't worry, I'm going to break down this page for you. I'm going to give you the URL of it so you can go look at it yourself. Maybe buy one of my products. You'll like them. They're handmade, they're organic, they're edible, they're great. Then once they click through, they go over to our Shopify e-commerce store. They literally just go to the category page on our website. We don't even have a fancy sales page. In your case, maybe they're going to Amazon. Maybe you have an Amazon Associates link on that page, and they're going over directly to Amazon. I don't know, but either way, you don't need one. If your story is done well, which I'm going to tell you how to do, then you don't really need much of a fancy layout. Now, of course, my Shopify e-commerce store is set up really well for conversions. I'm an e-commerce conversion expert. It's one of the things I'm very well known for is my conversion strategies. And so if you lay your page out like this, you have a better chance of it selling well. We did this for a reason, and we've got heat maps and split tests on that. And then once they decide, hey, I want to check out a product in more detail, they move on to one of our product detail pages where they can then buy our products. This is what that funnel looks like. They're going from a pin. This is Dipsy Doodle and the Don Daliber. The Dipsy Doodle part is where we're sending them from an advertisement to a piece of content. And it's the Dipsy Doodle because it's kind of like a little switcheroo, right? It's like, hey, we want to tell you a story and we're also going to offer you a product. And it's done in a way that feels good, that has them be actually interested in your product, that has them want to check your product out. And then the Don Daliber sales funnel part. Now, guess what? This works a lot better with retargeting. So check this out. The way we do it, and we're not even, by the way, for this Pinterest case study, we didn't even do any retargeting. That $56,000 in sales is with no retargeting whatsoever. I usually pick up an extra 30% of sales. So I'm guessing I could do $100,000 next month because I'm figuring out how to get more traffic from Pinterest and I'm implementing retargeting. So basically what we do is we send people to our pre-sale engagement page that you see back here, that first page that you see over here, that makeup tips article. And on that page, I have a retargeting pixel. I have a Facebook retargeting pixel and I've got a Google retargeting pixel on that page. So I can follow up with people. Now, if they don't click through, if they don't make it to the sales page, if they just landed on that URL and they never made it to the sales page, I follow up with them with more content articles. Guess what those Dipsy Doodle articles do? The same thing. They're just different articles, but they're engaging, they tell stories, and they allude to the solution, which is my product. Then if they actually do make it through to the sales page, we've got product-specific retargeting. So these people who landed on this page, and this is really easy to do in Facebook. You just set up a retargeting pixel, you put it on the page, and you can say, I want to run ads to only people who visited this page. I want to run ads to only people who visited this page. So this one, we actually follow up with more aggressive product retargeting because they showed interest and they made it all the way to the sales page. So we don't follow up with content. We follow up with direct response product ads. And then, they go through and they buy, and we follow up with them. And we do our traditional customer stuff. So that's how this sales funnel works. Now, it also works really, really well for Amazon. Really well for Amazon. So here's an example of that. From an ad, in this case, a Facebook ad, but I'm going to be showing you how to break down Pinterest because Pinterest is significantly more powerful for e-commerce business owners at the moment than Facebook, although Facebook is still one of my favorite ad networks on the planet. I love it. It's probably my second favorite to Pinterest now. Well, maybe they're tied. Pinterest will be my favorite once we can get more traffic from them. Right now, we're only spending $1,000 or $2,000 a month. I'd like to spend a lot more than that, but we're seeing crazy results with it. So, they go from the ad to the pre-sale article and then over to Amazon. And I'd recommend that you use an associates link so you can track which ad unit sent the traffic. And you can see this is a Facebook ad. Look at that. I don't have an arrow, but if you look at the top of the screen under cost, you can see that we're getting 15-cent clicks on Facebook as well. Guess what? The Facebook clicks aren't converting near as well as Pinterest. They're not converting near as well, like nowhere near, like maybe a tenth as well. Now we're still making money. It's still going well, but it's nothing like Pinterest. And if you dial in how to do the Dipsy Doodle and the Don Daliber well, if you can do this sales funnel well, you can run it anywhere. We're running it on AdWords. This is traditional, straight up Google display network, and we're driving traffic and conversion and sales from the same sales funnel. So this sales funnel works everywhere. So let's break down exactly how to do it. Let's talk about every part of this and how to do it with Pinterest, because Pinterest is the best opportunity. So the first thing that you're going to need is a Dipsy Doodle pre-sale page. You need a Dipsy Doodle pre-sale engagement page like the one I have here. Now, this right here is the Dipsy Doodle baby, okay? This is the Dipsy Doodle baby here, and you are only going to see the Dipsy Doodle baby in this presentation when things are serious. So what I'm about to tell you about right now is super serious. So quickly before I do, I want to remind you that I'm going to be telling you a little bit later about how to get the best chance, give yourself the best chance of getting early access to Pinterest ads, and also going to be giving away an iPad. I can see, man, I think we've had like 100. I've got so many posts here on my iPhone of Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, so we may be giving away quite a few iPads. So go ahead and post a selfie of yourself. If you can hold up your laptop and show that you're watching the webinar, that'd be awesome. You don't have to post a selfie if you don't want to post your picture, but I'd love to see your face and kind of get to know you a little bit. Tag at Ezra Firestone and hashtag Smart Marketer on Pinterest, Facebook, and Twitter. So, all right, how do you write a winning Dipsy Doodle pre-sale page? What's the best way to do this? Well, I really like listicles. And what a listicle is it's just an article made on a list. And I'm going to show you some examples in a moment. You notice that we did 5 makeup tips. I like to do top 10 destinations, 5 recipes you'll love, 10 ways to, clean your pet or whatever, you know what I mean? Case studies. Guess what? Those of you, I think most of you on this presentation probably read my Pinterest ad case study. Guess what that case study was? It was a Dipsy Doodle pre-sale article that was designed to have you be interested in this webinar, in this presentation, and going deeper and learning more about Pinterest advertising. So I love case studies. Personal stories, man, these things are phenomenal. And the case study that I did was kind of a combined personal story and case study. Before and after articles are really, really good to do. And also instructions and how to. These are the top 5, man. These are like really going to work the best. And I'll tell you what, you should really start with a listicle because people love those things. They get shared the most. Like list articles are really the way to go. And I'd probably start with a listicle of some kind, and then I'd split test some of these other ones. And I can tell you, if you get one good advertorial, one good piece of advertising content, you can see what it can do for you. I mean, this one piece that we're running right now, that 5 makeup tips article, is producing tens upon tens of thousands of dollars in revenue every single month. And by the time it's done, I think that one article will produce over 7 figures for us. So you get one good article, you get good at writing these things, and you can do really, really well. And one thing to remember about your pre-sale article, about your Dipsy Doodle pre-sale page, is that it must relate to the problem that your product solves. It absolutely must relate to the problem that your product solves, okay? So you can't write an article about recipes and then sell a cat toy. It's not going to work, all right? So let's talk about some of the best practices for your Dipsy Doodle pre-sale article, okay? 500 to 1,000 words I find works best. Weirdly enough, you'd think that longer articles would do better, but what we're finding is that the shorter ones are performing. So make sure that you don't go too long, you don't drag on too long, you kind of get to the point kind of quickly. This article that I showed you back here, this one here, is actually only 753 words in this article. It's not super long. So don't need to make them super long, but they do need to be well written. By the way, they can't have any grammar errors. You know what I mean? They got to have proper grammar and all that stuff. 3 or more unique images. So if you've got product images, and stock images can work if you have to use them, but if you can figure out a way to have some unique images, maybe take some pictures yourself, or find some images on stock websites that look good, that don't look like super cheesy, and like you can see the one here that I did on the left. I did this to show you what you don't want to do. You don't want a cheesy looking cat like that. You know what I mean? That just looks like super fake, that everyone knows is not, it doesn't look real. So make sure that you've got 3 or more unique images on your article. And I'm going to be showing you an example of a winning formula, winning advertorial page in a little bit here that we have. Make sure you got multiple calls to action. Multiple calls to action on the page that lead through to your Don Daliber sales page. If that's your Amazon page, that's cool. If that's your Shopify store, that's cool too. And it helps to incentivize, video content helps. If you can have a video, it's not necessary to have a video on the page, but you'll notice when you visit the page, my pre-sale Dipsy Doodle page that I'm using for my Boom business, that we do have a video on that page. It does help if you can do a video that kind of just covers the same thing that you covered in the actual article. The reason is because certain people prefer to consume written content. So some people will read and look at the images, and some people prefer to consume content via video. So if you can do a video that kind of goes through the same thing that your article does, that really helps. And you can do that with Camtasia and PowerPoint, but you don't need it. You don't need it. And if you can incentivize with a discount. So if you can say, hey, click here to get 20% off, and have offer a coupon and that kind of thing, that also works. We're not incentivizing with the discount because I like to try to sell at full price first, and if selling at full price first doesn't work, then I move to incentivizing with the discount. But I like to you can do that. It does help. A couple other things that aren't on here. You want to use bolding and bullet points. You want to make sure that you use bolding and bullet points on the page, and you want to make sure that you're using at least 14-point font. We use 14-point font, sometimes even 16-point font. You do not want to use 12-point font. It will convert not as well if you're using 12-point font. So make sure that you use 14 or 16-point font and that it's an Arial in nature. So here's an example of some Dipsy Doodle Don Daliber funnels. So this is Proactive running the Dipsy Doodle and the Don Daliber. This is one of their pre-sale pages. Do you know the 3 leading causes of acne? You can see the URL if you want to go check it out. I put the URL down here. And this leads right over to the Don Daliber, which is their offer page. So this is their offer page. And I put the link for that as well. And by the way, I will give you these slides. I will give you the slides from this presentation. Take me maybe a week or so to get them uploaded and stuff, but you can have these links. You can also take pictures on your iPhone as you're watching, and that'll give you them immediately, because I know that you all have iPhones and stuff. So this is Proactive. Now here's my page, boombycindyjoseph.com. This is the advertorial that we're running on our website. Please don't go there and click on all my links and stuff because you'll mess up my stats. But you can still see it, and this is our Dipsy Doodle, and then here's a Don Daliber. Our Don Daliber, in this case, the Don Daliber is just the category page on our Shopify e-commerce store. Now, this is one of my students, and he wrote a Dipsy Doodle pre-sale page that actually got picked up by foodandwine.com, and it got picked up by Yahoo. And like what'll happen sometimes when you write good articles is they'll get picked up by all these press places. And so this is his Dipsy Doodle page, and he's running somewhere that looks a little familiar, right? You can tell that he's been to one of my Shopify e-commerce boot camps and had his e-commerce store built out by us. We do these e-commerce boot camps where we build out people's Shopify stores with them, make sure they're all done. And I think he sold, a good $30,000 or something like that worth of these mugs, he was telling me. So those are just some examples of Dipsy Doodles and Don Dalibers. I'll show you another place you can go to look at examples of good Dipsy Doodle articles. You can go to zergnet.com, and man, is this ever the most, the best resource in the world for engaging. All these people do is write super engaging articles. You can see they're using listicles. Look at the top right, 5 types of games that will win over non-gamers, and then down in the bottom, 5 tricks to making a perfect burger, 5 PS4 games. Like if everyone, I don't know if 5 seems to be the winning thing, but if you go to zergnet.com, and you can even Google zergnet.com pets or zergnet.com beauty or zergnet.com or whatever, and you'll find a ton of articles that you can kind of get inspiration from that'll help you write your Dipsy Doodle pre-sale article. And then also you can go to pinterest.com/categories, and you can click on the category of your market, and you can look at what's being pinned and the stuff that's going to show up in there. And it's a never-ending feed of amazing Dipsy Doodle articles mostly. So you'll see some products, and you'll see some other stuff, but you'll get a lot of really, really phenomenal content by looking at this. So that's your Dipsy Doodle page. So now that you have the Dipsy Doodle pre-sale, right? You've got your Dipsy Doodle. We got to advertise it. That's the next step. Next step is to advertise that Dipsy Doodle. So we want to go from our pin to our Dipsy Doodle page. So how specifically do we use promoted pins for advertising? Well, let me show you. You need a good promoted pin. So most of you do not have access to Pinterest ads yet, but this is going to be good for you to know as soon as you do get access. So, and don't worry about it. You don't have access, but neither does your competition. And guess what? You're on this webinar, and you are going to get the little secret sauce that's going to teach you how to get at the head of the line. And I imagine that you'll get access within, I'd say, under 2 months, maybe a couple weeks. I mean, we got another one pretty quickly. So I don't want to promise that you'll get access anytime. I don't know when you'll get access, but if you follow my instructions, you will get access sooner than everyone else. And the other thing is, there is plenty of time, guys. It's like Pinterest is going to grow for the next 2 or 3 years at least. So, even if it takes you a month or 2 to get access, don't worry, because you can still advertise your Dipsy Doodle page on other sources, and you will get access eventually. So you need to create a pin to promote. So let's talk about how to create a pin. Let's talk about the way that your pins should be done. So again, this is the Dipsy Doodle baby, and things are serious right now. So your pins need to be beautiful, helpful, and actionable. So you want to make sure that you write detailed descriptions for your pins, that you have an eye-catching image, and that you add some clear, simple text overlay to your image, because that helps with the click-through rate. Now you'll see that I'm going to tell you some other things you need to know about this. We didn't even add text overlay to this image, and it's still working extremely well. Another thing to know about when you're creating your pin, because first you have to create the pin on your Pinterest board, and then you can advertise it. So you want to add a link to your pin description. Now, pin descriptions can only be 75. Well, they can be up to 500 words, but up to 500 characters. But you want to make sure that they are only 75 to 100 characters, because that's all that's going to show in the actual Pinterest feed. And you want to make sure that you've got a link to your Don Daliber sales page, whatever that is, Amazon, whatever, inside of, or sorry, not Amazon, but a link to your Dipsy Doodle article inside of that 75 to 100 characters, because it's going to give people another clickable link over to your article page. It gives you another link on the front page of Pinterest when your ad is showing that people can click. So this way they don't have to click only your image to get through to your article. They can also click that link, and you get extra clicks that way on your pin. Next thing that you need to know is that you've got to use high quality images, and in this case, size and shape do matter. So you want to make sure that your pics are vertically oriented with an aspect ratio of between 2 to 3 and 1 to 3.5, and a minimum width of 600 pixels. So you can see on the left here, the wrong image is the bike and the right image is the guy. And what happens is pins will get cut off if their pixel ratio is more than 1 to 3.5. So for example, if you have an image rather, that you're going to pin that is 600 pixels wide, then it needs to be between 900 and 2100 pixels tall. So that's kind of the ratio. If you're going to be creating images for your pins, you can tell your designer that, and they will understand what that means. Some other things that you need to know about your pin is that you don't want to have any more than 4 individual images in the pin. They will shut you down. They will disapprove your pin if you do that. So you want to make sure, usually 1 big clean image is the way to go, but you can do 2, 3 images in there if you want. And don't round the corners, don't add borders. You can see the image on the right here has multiple pictures and has a border on it. That's going to get you turned down for your pin. So you don't want to do that. And then also don't use time-sensitive content in your pin, because pins last forever. So you can't be like new this, or like get one of these for the next 24 hours or whatever. Like you can't be using that kind of language, because it's not going to get approved for you on Pinterest. All right, so you've created a pin. It looks super good. Now you got to promote it. Now, you don't have access to this yet, but you will. So you click that little promote button up in the top right-hand corner, and then it takes you over here to promote your pin. So some things to know about promoting your pin: only use 15 to 20 terms per pin. So you get to put your terms in that you want to show up for. If you put in more than 20 to 30 terms, you could get disapproved. We've had it happen where they've disapproved our pin because we had too many words in one pin. So we had to create a second promoted pin and split them up that way. And you want to see if you can look for 100,000 weekly impressions. That's really a good amount. You can get a good amount of traffic with that. If you can only get 25, 30,000 weekly impressions, that's okay too. But we try to look for 100,000 weekly impressions. And Pinterest tells you, when you add your keywords in, how many impressions you're going to get. And your impressions will change based on your targeting, which I'm going to get into in just a moment. So you want to make sure that you look for, try to get over 100,000 of them. Now, make sure when you pick your keywords, and then you want to come down and keep the locations to all locations so you can run it, because it only works in the United States right now, meaning you can get access to Pinterest if you're not in the US, but you just can't advertise to people who aren't in the US. So that's fine, because if you're selling on Amazon or you're selling through your own website, it doesn't matter. But they will roll out worldwide eventually, and it's going to be awesome when they do. But make sure that you leave the location to everywhere, because Pinterest is converting super well right now. Like on Facebook, we might run only in New York and California, because New York and California are the best states. They convert the best from an e-commerce perspective, and Texas is great too. So we start a lot of our Facebook campaigns only running geographically targeted to New York and California, because they work so well. But here on Pinterest, we're running to all countries. So make sure that you choose English, United States, and United Kingdom. Don't need to worry about any other languages at the moment. And then I really like to start only using the web. So I only want to run on the web. I don't want to run on mobile devices and iPads and that kind of thing. And if you're going to do that, at the very least, split out to a separate promoted pin. So create a separate promoted pin with the same keywords and split it out so that you're running the mobile and the desktop separately. And what's cool is Pinterest is still sending us mobile traffic, and we're making sales on that, even though we're not bidding on mobile, although we do have some promoted pins running mobile now. So it does make sales. It does convert. So you do want to test that out. But first start with the web, because that will convert better. And then go with women to start. I mean, unless your market is specifically men, start with just women, because they tend to convert better. And I've noticed that 25 cents is a pretty good starting bid for most markets. You're probably going to get between 15 and 20 cent clicks. Some markets, like really competitive markets, are getting 50 and 60 cent clicks, but it doesn't matter because they convert super well. So I'd start with 25 cents, kind of see if you get some good impressions. If you're not getting good impressions, then maybe bump that up a little bit. And then finally, what you're going to have to do is put in the destination URL of your promoted pin, which is going to be your Don Dalla or your Dipsy Doodle pre-sale article. create a campaign and name the campaign. So you can see we've named this one Vegetarian Pre-Sale Article Web USA Women, and set yourself a daily budget for what you want to spend per day. They won't spend it. I've put my daily budget up to $2,000. I'm still only spending about $100 a day. So I'm trying to figure out ways to get more traffic. I was spending $50 a day, and I'm going to tell you a little trick about how I got that bigger in a moment here. But why don't we go through now a little live demo of the Pinterest Ads platform. So let's go ahead and see that. All right, open this up and zoom it in here. So this is me looking at this pin that I'm going to promote. So again, what I would do is I'd put in my terms. So I might want to try fashion. And what's going to happen is they're going to drop all this stuff down, and they're going to say, which of these do you want? So I'd say, oh, I want fashion. And you can see just fashion has 300,000 impressions per week. Now that's going to change. So if I just wanted, that might be good. That might be enough just running to fashion and seeing how that converts. Now what I would do is I'd scroll down here, and I would come over here and I'd go, I want to do only English in the United States. And now when I change this, so now it dropped me down to only 5,000. But when I come over here and I put in the web, it's going to grow up to 192,000. So that right there, and let me switch it to women, just fashion, 180,000 weekly impressions. I mean, that's good. I may actually set up a campaign just targeting that one term and see how that broad term does. If I wanted to go a little bit more, a little bit more, target, I might go fashion for older women. Or here you go. What showed up here? Fashion for women over 40. Boom. Take that. Bam. All these ones. These are good ones, right? These are all fashion for women over 40. And those are good because those are geared towards baby boomers. And the other thing is Pinterest suggests stuff. So I put in fashion for women over 50, fashion for plus size women. So you get a bunch of opportunities here. And then I would scroll down. I'd put my bid. I want to start at 25 cents. Put my article, which they put it in there for me, because the reason they put it in there for me is because it's the URL of the pin here, but you want to go ahead and paste in your own one there too. Create a campaign, set your daily budget, click on promote the pin, and you will have yourself a promoted pin. And that's how the Pinterest dashboard works. Let's go back to our demo here. Now, let me tell you about my sneaky little trick that I told you I was going to tell you about. So this is a little trick. And by the way, I'm going to get to the part where I tell you about how to get access to your ads account, and also when we pick the winner of our contest here. But check this out. So Pinterest has an analytics thing. And I went into my analytics, and I started, and they show you your demographics, and they also show you other things that your people are interested in. So things that you may not know, like look at all these brands that I didn't know that my Pinterest users were interested in. So it gives you the opportunity to do targeting on related subjects of things that people are interested in that you may not have thought up yourself. And you can see when I did this, boom, I shot up, and I actually spent like $400 on Pinterest that day. And then they dropped me back down, but they didn't drop me down as low as I was before. So I'm now spending double what I was spending, because I've been able to sort of cross target, maybe not exactly what I would have thought I needed to target. Now you can't be targeting things that are completely irrelevant to your pin. So it's got to be somewhat relevant, but like beauty and fashion are very relevant, right? Those are relevant categories. So that is how I doubled my Pinterest traffic. Now, the thing that the guy told me, the way to get access to Pinterest ads sooner, is that they're giving access to Pinterest ads based on organic engagement. So what that means is that if you create a Pinterest profile and you sign up for Pinterest ads on the wait list, but you never do anything on your Pinterest account, you're going to be at the back of the wait list. But if you do what most people don't, which is you only got to create 5 or 10 boards, pin a whole bunch of stuff to each of those boards, and then pin one thing a day. I call it Pinterest pre-gaming. You'll be able to get access much, much sooner, because you'll have a Pinterest account that's active and engaged. So the way to get yourself bumped up to the front of the list is to go ahead and let's make sure I didn't close the webinar here. Okay, good. the way to get yourself bumped up to the front of the list is to create a Pinterest account, make a bunch of boards, pin a bunch of YouTube videos and articles from ZergNet and things from your website, and pin something every day. And you'll be able to get access long before everyone else. So this is what we covered today. We talked about the state of e-commerce. We talked about the pre-sale advertising case study, the full Pinterest advertising tutorial, my winning e-commerce sales funnel, Pinterest ads best practices. And this really was just the tip of the iceberg. This was really just the very, very beginning of all this stuff. I can't teach you everything in 1 2-hour webinar. There's so much more that I could teach you on how to run these direct response sales funnels. I've been doing this for 7 years. And this is the part at the beginning where I told you that I'm going to make an offer to go more in depth with me. This is that. And you could go it alone. You could go it alone. You could try this on your own. You might have some success. And you probably will be able to make some money on Pinterest because it's such a great advertising model. Or you could have us in your corner. That's Pepijn, Boris, that's me in the middle, that's Nick and Nick there, which he's holding the microphone, which is kind of funny because he's not super talkative, although he's somewhat talkative. And then there's Mike on the right. And you could have us take you through all this. And, you get what you want in life from people who have it. You want to learn how to run profitable direct response sales funnels for your e-commerce businesses? I do that. Let me show you how to do that. So I want to make you the opportunity to give you the opportunity to train with me a little deeper on this. And so I'd like to announce first time ever, the PinCommerce advertising sales system. It's a live 4-week look over my shoulder coaching program. It's called PinCommerce. And here's what you get inside of PinCommerce. You get 4 weeks live looking over my shoulder and Pinterest is changing all the time. We just discovered that they have conversion tracking. They rolled it out last Monday. I'm in touch with Pinterest. I'm talking to these guys. So we are discovering new stuff all the time. So we're going to take you through how to set up the Dipsy Doodle, how to set up your Don Dalibor, like how to build a direct response sales funnel that you can even use before you get access to Pinterest. I'm going to give you my pre-sale engagement copywriting masterclass. So I'm going to show you how to write. I've got some really good formulas for how we write these pre-sale pages. And I'm going to give you those formulas. I'm going to show you how to do them live. I'm going to give you templates for them. I've got some hidden that you can't find unless you know how to get to them, lead page, pre-sale landing page templates that you can have proven Dipsy Doodle pre-sale pages that work inside of lead pages, which makes it super, super easy for you to build out a good, performing, high-quality Dipsy Doodle pre-sale page. I'm going to give you my promoted pin swipe file. We're going to be doing case study campaigns, ads, and landing pages. And I'm going to show you a demo of the other traffic sources I use besides Pinterest for this sales funnel. I mean, it's a Pinterest course, but it's also a direct response e-commerce marketing sales funnel course. And that bullet is in there twice. It shouldn't be. 3 months of private Facebook group coaching. So you'll have me there and my team to answer questions for you live in Facebook, and we're on Facebook all the time. And we'll be there to do that. And also, we're going to do a Pinterest pre-gaming sequence, which will give you your best chance of early access to promoted pins, so you can follow along with us as we pre-game for Pinterest every day. And get ready to get you access to Pinterest. So here's what my hidden pre-sale page templates inside of lead pages look like. We've got so inside of lead pages, you can actually edit and modify these. If you've ever used lead pages, it makes it real easy to edit landing pages. This is a winning a Dipsy Doodle pre-sale page template that we've run. You can modify everything and you can get rid of elements. You can keep elements. It's got the title. It's got the image up front. It's got the bullet points. It's designed for a listicle. And I made it really, really long so that you could use different elements of it. Of course, with lead pages, though, you hide a bunch of elements. So any elements you don't want to use, you can hide. We've got the images in there for you, and we've got good example text in there for you, headlines, subheadlines, some video examples in case you end up doing a video. It gives you the opportunity to put that on your page, but you don't have to do that. And then some more long-form content. And just a little bit more long-form content on the page. Of course, you're not going to use all of this, but it gives you the opportunity to lay your Dipsy Doodle pre-sale page out in a way that I know that works, right? Another opportunity for a video, some bullet points, and a final call to action. And this works. This page works. We've used it. We use it in our business. It's actually very, very similar to the one that we're running now. The one that we're running now is just a shorter version of this. So you could actually make an exact replica of the page that we're running now with this lead page template inside of lead pages. And I got a bonus page. So let's say that you don't have a website and you're just on Amazon. Well, I've added this page into lead pages as well, which is essentially a home page. So you can basically have this page set up as the home page of your domain name, or as your home page of your lead page linked together, and then it's just kind of some text, and then a link to a bunch of articles that are a bunch of different pre-sale articles and some banners, call to actions for your products. So like when someone lands on your Dipsy Doodle pre-sale page, and let's say they click the logo to go to the home, they want to know that you're a real website. Now you have that. Now I'm going a little too fast. Now you have that opportunity to be a real legitimate website. And the other thing that you should know is that Amazon can be your Don Daliber. And your Amazon product can be your sales page. So if you don't have an e-commerce website the way I do, Amazon is actually going to convert way better than a Shopify store. Is the truth of the matter. We're only running to Shopify because we have that set up and we like to keep our customers, but we also run this same sales funnel to Amazon. We use the same exact thing for Amazon. So you're probably wondering at this point, how much, right? Yeah, it sounds great, Ezra. It sounds awesome. I want to do it. I want to be part of your program. But like, how much is this going to cost, man? Well, I'm going to charge $19.97 for it, but I'm not going to charge $19.97 for it yet. And the reason I'm not going to charge $19.97 for it yet is because it doesn't exist yet. You are my beta group. You guys are the folks that are going to be going through this thing with me live. Now, it's going to be better maybe than the next round where it's already pre-recorded because you're going to be doing it live with me. But it's not a pre-recorded thing. It's going to be something that we're going to be building together live. We're going to be doing these workshops, and Pinterest is brand new. We're going to be building out these sales pages, and so I'm going to charge half of that for the beta group. So you can go to smartmarketer.com/pin if you want to join my beta group. For Pin Commerce. And I put my money where my mouth is. I stand behind my products. If you know me, if you've been on my trainings, if you've dealt with Smart Marketer, our motto is serve the world unselfishly and profit. So that's how we do things. And it's really a definition of how the only way that you can truly profit is if you're in service to other people. So there'll be a full 30-day money back guarantee. If you don't like the course for any reason, within the first 30 days, you can get your money back. I don't think that's going to happen because it's going to be phenomenal. But I do stand behind my products. And also, one thing that you should know as well is that I can only take 250 people. I really can only take that many. I know there's 1,000 of us live on this call right now. Literally, still nobody has left, which is pretty incredible. A couple people, we got about 985, but a couple people told me beforehand that they had to go. So I can only handle 250 people in the beta group because I want to make sure that you get that you get well taken care of, that we're there inside of the Facebook group ready to, and by the way, we're going to do Q&A after this, and I'm going to answer all your questions, and we're going to announce the winners of the iPad. We're going to look on Facebook. We're going to see the goofy pictures that people posted. So I can only take 250 people, and that's like, I would like to take more. Why not? But I think that my team and I can really probably be easier for us to handle a smaller group of people that we can really make sure that you get everything that you need. So go to smartmarketer.com/pin. I am absolutely sure we will fill this beta group for Pin Commerce. So if you'd like to join it, I'd love to have you. Now, this training is not for everyone. It's really not. It's not for you if you can't afford to spend $500 a month on advertising. If you don't have $300, $400, $500 a month that you can invest in advertising your business, this is not for you. I don't want you to spend your last $1,000 on this training. That does not make sense. I want you to join this training if you're in a place where you can invest in your business. So if it's not for you, hey, don't worry. Pinterest ads is going to be around for a long time. It's look, Facebook ads came out in like 2008. It's 2014, and I'm still absolutely crushing it on Facebook ad, getting 15-cent clicks. So if that's any indication, you got like 6 years. That people who get in early and are doing this thing properly from the beginning, obviously are going to make money quicker and do better. But you don't have to fret. So couple webinar only bonuses. One thing that's really important, this is only for the beta group, this is only for you guys on this webinar. One thing that you want to do when you're running your Dipsy Doodle pages is you want to split test. You want to make sure that you've got the page that is getting you the highest click-through rate, is getting you the most sales. And so we're going to do a lead pages split testing and landing page optimization masterclass as a bonus for you. So we're also going to show you how to modify the Dipsy Doodle pre-sale funnel for Amazon sales. There's some things that you got to do to modify to make sure that you can run to Amazon effectively. So that we'll do that as well, because I know that we have a lot of Amazon business owners here who are going to want to use the Dipsy Doodle on Facebook and everywhere to run to Amazon. So, you've got a decision to make. It's time for you to make a decision. You're going to wake up tomorrow, you're going to look at your family, and you're going to know that you were here tonight and that you made a decision. And I want you to grow your business. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to grow your business, if you want to get good at direct response advertising, then I can really confidently say that I'm the best person to help you with that. And if you're not in a place to do that right now, that's totally cool. We are still friends. I still want you on my blog. I still want you engaging with us on Facebook. Like, we are totally good. And we release a bunch of really great content that can help you grow your business. But if you do want to join Pin Commerce, if you do want to be a part of this beta, if you do want to see what's going on behind the scenes in Pinterest ads and what we're doing, then I'd love to show you. I'd love to have the opportunity to be your coach. My team members would love to have the opportunity to be your mentors and kind of show you what we're doing over the next couple months. So that's smartmarketer.com/pin if you want that. And so here's what you get again: 4 weeks of live looking over our shoulders, our pre-sale engagement copywriting masterclass, the hidden lead pages templates that make this really easy to build landing pages, our swipe files, our campaigns, demos of the other sources we use, 3 months of coaching, private Facebook coaching, the webinar but only bonuses, the pre-gaming sequence, and you get in at half price. You get in the beta group, because when I re-release this, I will release it for more money because it's worth it, and it will help you grow your business. Now, you can do this. You really can. You really can do this too. Maybe you won't be able to make as much money as me. Maybe you'll be able to make more. My results are not typical. I work really hard, but I'm going to show you exactly what I do and how I do it. And I think you can probably make some money too. And keep in mind, this system is brand new. This system has never existed before. And one thing that we are really, really good at is brand new systems. We're great. We were great at Facebook, and we are, we're great at new systems when they come out and testing them and tracking and seeing how they work. And I want to show you how we're going to do that. So if you're interested, go to smartmarketer.com/pin, and I'd love to have you in our course and to take you through our beta period. So with all that said, let's roll into Q&A. So that was my Pinterest advertising workshop, and now I'm going to go ahead and answer all the questions that you have, and make sure that you are fully taken care of, and that there's no question that you have about Pinterest advertising that I haven't answered. Now, for some reason, I cannot get the question box to pop up here, so let's see if we can fix this problem. All right, there we go. So I'm just going to start at the bottom and go up. And you know what? Actually, let's take a look. Before we answer questions, let's look at some of the Facebook pictures here. So let's just go over here. Let's open up my Facebook profile. And let's, good golly, look at all of these pictures. All right, someone with their dog. That's hilarious. That's awesome. Steven Sashin's on the line. I love Steven, man. That guy's really cool. Sasha with his Zero Shoes, zeroshoes.com. Go check him out. Nice. The Dipsy Doodle baby. That's hilarious. Man, we're going to be giving away a lot of iPads. Hingle in the house. This is my buddy Chris Hingle, designer extraordinaire. I've known him since before I was even in the e-commerce. Says this dude is certainly not a lightweight. Steve, what's up, Steve, with his Jetame. Someone wants to win the iPad Air. That's pretty funny. Dan Watson with the beard, watching on his phone. If you have questions, go ahead and ask them. Maggie with the 3, go ahead and ask them. I'll get to the questions in just a moment. Maggie with the 3-star. Oh, by the way, just to show you what the page should look like when you go to smartmarketer.com/pin, here's what you should see when you land on this page. I hope my website hasn't crashed. Great. Yeah. So you'll see. This is what you should see there when you get there. We've got Jesse. Looks like he's hanging out on the SkyTrain, loving the content, and Jim Campbell, watching a webinar on Pinterest, wants to win that iPad. Everyone wants to win that iPad. And I'll bet that if I go to my profile, there's There's even more. Oh, yeah, but look at that. Pin commerce, baby. Look at all these pictures. Oh man, look at these people. Someone just posted from Las Vegas. Gosh, this is hilarious. That's hilarious. The the pin commerce, baby. Love it. Okay, I'll get to your questions now. These are just really, really fun. I'm so happy that you guys posted pictures and that you tagged me on Facebook and that, oh my goodness. Looks like you took a fall. Hope you're okay. But I'm happy to have your selfie. That's awesome, Nancy. Good for you. Look, I just want to go through and look at all the pictures. Who do we got here? We got Tiffany Williams, Ezra Rocks. Thanks, Ezra. You're welcome. We got Maggie Umlauf watching with her dog, Jim Campbell. I'm gonna get to Q&A in a second here, guys. Nice, Shaka Brada. This guy's throwing up a Shaka sign. Dan Safkow in the house, Superman. Someone with his dog. Awesome, man. Oh, wearing my shirt, serving the world unselfishly and profiting. Mike Murphy. That's super cool. Hulk Hogan. That's not Hulk Hogan. That's funny though. You kind of look like Hulk Hogan there, Peter. Peter's a member of my e-commerce community, my private e-commerce community. He's a good guy. All right, I'm gonna just confirm a couple more of these things. Don't worry, I will go through all of these, and I promise, with all these amazing pictures, more than one iPad will be given out, and we will give out some other stuff too. So let's now go back to the Q&A. Oh my goodness. This guy says, look, I look like the Dipsy Doodle baby. That's hilarious. Oh man, we got like 4 people here watching. I just want to confirm all the rest of these. Actually, you know what? I'll get to your Q&A. I'll confirm the rest of these later. They keep coming in. Some of these people want to win the iPad Air. So let's go ahead and let's move on to the Q&A portion of the evening. Let me just go ahead and put the play button up and see if we can get the Q&A going here. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the questions, and I promise I will stay here and I will answer your questions. So please feel free to put them in there. I can see if you joined Pin Commerce, if you went ahead and joined Pin Commerce, go ahead and post on the webinar. Let me know that you're in. I'd love to know that you're a part of Pin Commerce. Smartmarketer.com/pin. Let me know that you joined, and I can see we've got Dave Huckabee who just joined, Sandy Jones, Svetlana, Troy Davis, Patricia. Thank you so much for being our founding members. A bunch of people's order failed. If you're overseas and you're trying to use your credit card, you may have to use PayPal to order. Sometimes our account doesn't take overseas credit cards. So please go ahead and try to use PayPal for that. Lots of folks joining, so let's get into some questions here. All right, so I'll start from let's see, the top, and I'll just work my way down. Will there be a replay? Yes, I will be posting a replay of this call. Let's see. Aaron's saying, dude, you need to put the webinar link in the follow-up emails. It's in there, man. Check your email. Do you invite other Pinterest members to share pins on your boards? You can share your pins. I don't know if you can invite people to share them. It's not something we're doing. We're focusing totally on promoted pins at the moment. And we're not really working on trying to get organic traffic from Pinterest because promoted pins is working so well. By the way, if you go to smartmarketer.com/pin, there is a payment option. So if paying all up front is not in the cards for you, you can do a payment option. It'll break it out over 6 weeks. Hey Ezra, do you know the current wait time to get into Pinterest? I don't. The guy told me, he said they're adding this was his words, a ton of new people every week, and they're sorting it based on organic engagement. And so you definitely want to get your Pinterest account up and get your boards going and get your pins going every day so you can get added sooner. I imagine, hey, it might take a month, might take 2 months. I don't actually have any answer. I'm not Pinterest. I don't know. Could take a week. I've seen people get accepted really quickly. So Is this being recorded? Yes, this is being recorded. You guys can get access to this recording. Let's see. E-commerce. Let's see. I'm going to go to the very bottom because I think all the questions are at the bottom. So let's see. Can you share your pre-sell link that you mentioned before? I don't want to. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's go over to it here. It's this page here. boombycindijoseph.com/pages/5-makeup-tips for baby boomers by Cindy Joseph. I'm gonna give you guys the replay of this, which will have those links in it. So I want to get through to some other questions as well. Where can I get a copy of this video recording? We'll send an email out to you. Should you have a separate Pinterest account for each niche that you sell in? Yes, I would create a separate Pinterest account and profile for each business that I'm selling in. Absolutely. Is Pinterest ads currently only open to people in the States? As I understand it, no, it's not. I think it's open to everyone. It's just only able to target people in the States. So using Shopify, which we've been looking at, do you suggest having a full inventory in stock? Do you have to stock them? Well, Shopify connects right over to Amazon FBA. So, that would be kind of what you'd want to do is connect it to your Amazon FBA and use them, use them in for your fulfillment. I already have a business profile connected to an active business account. Does this mean I can start immediately? And my main question is, will you give me unbiased feedback on my website? Sure, I'd love to give you unbiased feedback on your website. And if you have a business account, that doesn't mean that you get access to promoted pins immediately. I mean, you can start building out your Dipsy Doodle page. It's going to take you a while. You can start Pinterest pre-gaming. You can start getting that already, but you won't get access to Pinterest ads until you apply and you get accepted. Let's see. So Jim Campbell says, let's see. Chelsea wants to know, when does the Pinterest course start? The first week of the Pinterest pin commerce is going to be Monday, March 23rd. So that's about 10 days, 11 days from now will be our first live training session. We've had a bunch more people just join, which is awesome. We've got Peter Hill, who's in pin commerce now. Thank you so much, Peter. We've got CeeLo Stewart. Thank you so much, CeeLo. Really happy to have you. Lynn Hushin. Thank you, Lynn. Happy to have you inside of pin commerce. We've got Constantine. All right. Steve's in the house. Kath is in the house. Gwen Grant just joined a second ago. Thank you so much. Hey, Ezra, I was accepted, but I didn't get an email. Are they going to take a little bit of time to get to us? If you were accepted to Pinterest ads, you should be able to go to ads.pinterest.com and see your Pinterest ads dashboard. You should be able to see that immediately. So yeah, you should be able to get access straight away. When does the course begin? It begins on Monday, March 23rd. I signed up for the course, but it says I'm not authorized. What does this mean? Marianne, thank you so much for signing up. If you got a failed order notification, if maybe your credit card failure, if you ended up on an error page, maybe just shoot an email to my help@smartmarketer.com and we'll get you sorted out. Okay, waiting for the confirmation email. Awesome. Yeah, the confirmation email takes 30 minutes or so to send, so hang tight for that. Sometimes it doesn't send. I've got Boris, who's our director of operations, will be emailing you with details on how to sign up for the workshops and stuff like that. Ezra, what platform do you use for traffic tracking and split testing? My favorite platform for split testing and tracking is actually just Google Analytics. I love Google Analytics. It's my absolute favorite. We use that. We also, we've played with Visual Website Optimizer. We use that sometimes. Optimizely is good, but you can't really get better than Google Analytics. So it's great. But Optimizely and VW are also really good. But for tracking, for tracking, Google Analytics, no question. Have you tested in a male-dominated market? I personally have not tested in a male-dominated market because all my markets at the moment are are female oriented, but I have some friends who do have access to a male dominated market and are doing quite well with it. So even though they're not getting a whole ton of traffic, they're making good sales. How do you convert a current Pinterest account into a business account? Is it rather easy, or are there some sneaky tricks? It's really simple. You just go to ads.pinterest.com and sign up, and then it'll send you an email that'll ask you to convert. I'm actually curious, though, real quick, if anyone has tagged me on Twitter. I want to see what happened here on Twitter. So let me go ahead and just log out of this account. Let's go ahead and log out, and let's log back in. And see our Twitter notifications. Oh my goodness, 99 Twitter notifications. Look at that. Even pandas love learning about Pinterest. That's hilarious. From Alex, we got Shelly, really wants the iPad. No doubt about that. A bunch of people kind of repinning tweets. Some hashtag smart marketer from Harris. And don't worry, I'll get back to the questions. I'm obsessed with Pinterest, and the hashtag smart marketing training is so exciting. Someone's making fun of my Johnny, how you doing picture. We've got Celine, Pin Commerce coming soon. I actually don't want people to see that. I want that only to be on the webinar. So we got Dan Howard. Look at that beard. My goodness. That's awesome, man. That's really, really cool. I accidentally, side note, I accidentally shaved off my beard. Unfortunately, I bought this razor and I didn't look at the proper setting, and I shaved my beard super short. So lots of people inside of Pin Commerce now. Wow. We are definitely going to fill this up. So let's keep rolling. Look at all this stuff. Hey, you can have us behind the scenes. That's my team right there. Everyone loves the Dipsy Doodle baby. That's a pretty funny picture. Shelly, man, this is fantastic. We got super cool logging in from Australia. That's a nice selfie. All right, so now I'll go back to the questions. But man, look at all these awesome pictures. Super awesome. I got some. You guys are beautiful, by the way. My God, look at this guy's good looking. You're all good looking. It's very cool. All these pretty smart marketer subscribers. Love it. So let's go back to the Q&A. All right, let's look at the questions. I got to just delete the questions I've answered so I know I can get to them all. So someone wants to know, hey, if I'm not approved for Pinterest ads, is it going to be hard for me to apply what I learn? No, I don't think so, because at the end of the day, what you're learning in Pin Commerce is direct response sales funnels. So I'm teaching you the Dipsy Doodle and the Don Daliber. And Pinterest ads is going to be the source that we're going to be going over for how to advertise. But if you get this down, if you use these landing page templates, if you follow our training, and we'll show you some other sources as well, you can advertise on any source. And you will get access to Pinterest ads. It may take a while, but you will get access to it. And guess what? We're going to close the doors on Pin Commerce. And so if we close the doors on Pin Commerce and we don't open for 5 or 6 months, and you get access 2 months from now, that's 4 months that you're going to have to wait if we do reopen, which we will probably at a higher price, to find out what we're doing and how it's working. So I think that, it's absolutely applicable to any e-commerce business. Is there any software to automate the process of Pinterest marketing, like pin and repin? Get that out of your head right now. You don't want to be spammy, doing anything spammy, any pinning and repinning and software, any kind of crap like that. Do not do anything that is against the terms of service with Pinterest. Right now, Pinterest does not have an ads API, which means that there is no software that automates the advertising. What they're working on, and they told me this when I talked to them, is releasing the self-serve platform. That's their big goal. They want to have that self-serve platform up and functioning and available to everyone. That is their major goal. They've got 300 million users on Pinterest and only a handful of advertisers. So they want to make more money. And they want you guys on this webinar are likely to be the next wave of advertisers, because we're going to be doing something that nobody else is doing. We're going to be Pinterest pre-gaming, getting ourselves to the front of the list. So when the Pinterest ads API opens up, then we'll start building out software and things like that to work with Pinterest ads. But for now, you don't need it, and I wouldn't recommend doing any software to help you with your Pinterest pre-gaming. I would go manual. I think it's going to be better for you. Paid, but not sure if I'm in. I didn't get the confirmation. Thank you so much, Vikas. I really appreciate it. You probably would have gotten a receipt. If you didn't get a receipt, go ahead and email help@smartmarketer.com and let me know that you didn't receive your receipt. We'll go ahead and get you that receipt. And there is a thank you confirmation email that links over to, tells you what you need, and kind of links over to some more data, how to sign up for the workshops and stuff like that. So make sure that you get that email. Give it an hour. If it doesn't come in an hour, send us an email and we will make sure that you get it. But I'm so happy to have you in the course. Jim wants to know if when Pinterest is going to target the UK. When can Pinterest users target the UK? I don't know when we're going to be able to target people in the UK. At the moment, it's just America, but they will roll it out worldwide. It took Facebook a little bit, I think they need to get their ad platform fully functional before they roll to the UK. So I don't know. What you're hearing is that I just took a break to eat some popcorn. So give me just a second here. I've now been talking for 2 hours straight, so I just want to get my some popcorn in my stomach there. You guys, check this out. We have 40 people in Pin Commerce right now. Keep in mind, we only have 250 spots, so I have a feeling that we are going to fill this up, which is really, really exciting. Instead of the iPad Air, Roger says, how about memberships to Pinterest advertising training? I'll tell you what, I will give away one membership to Pin Commerce. One membership to Pin Commerce based on one of these pictures. So if you want to enter to win, we're giving away iPads. We're giving away a membership to Pin Commerce. And I'm going to show you guys, just so you know, we are really nice and cool and fun, but I want to show you something. If you go to Smart Marketer, see this right here? Hashtag me, it shows social proof. You'll notice that when you have websites that have social proof images on them, your conversion rates are higher. So this is kind of a way for me on my blog to show off my community, to show off the beautiful people who are inside of the Smart Marketer community, who hang out with us and talk to us about e-commerce and business growth and communication and lifestyle and all that kind of stuff. So you may find yourself right here on the Smart Marketer site. That's one of the reasons why we're doing this contest. But yes, one person will. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I just got a text. That wouldn't be fair. So sorry, Roger. Sorry that I told you yes and then said no. I actually can't do that because that wouldn't be fair to the folks who have already joined Pin Commerce. So we're not going to give away a Pin Commerce membership. I take it back. Let's keep going. But iPads are cool. I have a personal Pinterest account with over 5,000 links, none of which has to do with my business niche. Would it be best to open a new business account rather than converting my personal one? No, I would probably convert your personal one and then just put a bunch of boards up on it that are relevant, because that value of that Pinterest account is probably going to help you get ads, get ads sooner. Would you create a funnel that has a lot to do with your typical shopper but not the products you are offering, or would you focus solely on the products that directly related to your product? Yes. Do not create a Dipsy Doodle pre-sale page that has nothing to do with your product offering. That is a recipe for disaster. Man, that is like the easiest way to fail at this. You want to make absolutely sure that the what's it called? That the Dipsy Doodle pre-sale page relates to the problem that your product solves. That story relates to the problem that your product solves. I need to respond to a quick text message here, and then we'll keep going with Q&A. So we've got would Pinterest ads work for a person that sells directly on their website? Or could it work for someone who gets revenue from leads, lead generation thing? Right now Pinterest ads is really product based. I don't think there's a lot of, I don't know what kind of lead generation you're doing. Like if you're doing lead generation of women who are 18 to 45, it could work for lead generation. I'm not going to say it wouldn't work for lead generation. Lead generation was the initial campaign we were going to do. It seems to be working so well for direct response. So that's why we're doing that. But you could do lead generation with Pinterest. I imagine that a social contest or an email opt-in, which we're about to test, would work phenomenally. But you're saying that you don't sell products, that you sell services. So I don't know. Kind of depend on what services you sell and all that kind of stuff. Darren says, "Hey, my payment is not confirming in the payment section. I apologize about that, Darren. I really do. Please send me an email to help@smartmarketer.com, and I promise that you will be able to be in the Pin Commerce beta group. We will save a spot for you, so I'll make sure that you get in. I won't let you be stuck out." Wonderful webinar, Lisa says. Thank you so much. I have to leave for the rest of the Q&A. I'm in the hospital and I need to turn the lights off. Thanks for a great webinar. You're more than welcome. Let's see. If you're an American seller, can you promote Amazon UK listings? Absolutely. You certainly can. Will we have free future updates in your future Pin courses? Absolutely. As Pin Commerce beta, when we release the next version of Pin Commerce, you will definitely get free access to that. You won't have to pay the $2,000 or whatever it ends up costing. So let's take a look here. Couple more. We got a bunch more questions. I'm going to stay here and answer them with you guys. We still have, by the way, 600 people on this call. So, man, I am so grateful that you guys, are hanging with me and are interested in this stuff, because at the end of the day, it's funny. Like I'm the guy who's considered like cool or whatever in our community. Like people are always like, "You're so cool, man," and I'm like the biggest nerd. I'm the dude who's in here like nerding out on Pinterest ads and stuff. So it's just kind of funny. Anyways, let's keep rolling on the questions. All right. So, okay, when you're building content on your Pinterest account, does it have to be from your website, or can it be from other places? No, you absolutely do not have to build content, only original content from your site. You can pin YouTube videos, you can pin articles. In fact, I'll show you a little sneaky little trick. Well, I think I won't go into that right now. Actually, it's going to take too long. But you can pin things from anywhere, and you can do that. Bart says, "Thanks so much. I got to go. Was awesome as usual." What time are the sessions? Madeline wants to know. Well, we've got them at 8 p.m. Eastern and at 3 p.m. Eastern, so we varied them up to make sure they would work for international people. We're also recording all of the Pin Commerce sessions, and we're going to post them inside the Facebook group, and that's what the Facebook group is for. If you can't make it to the live sessions, you can watch them on recording and ask us your questions inside of Facebook, and we'll respond immediately. So, within 24 hours. Brian Klecker's in the group. Hey, all right, Brian, thanks so much, man. So bummed I can't seem to get to the pay page. It sounds like I'm not the only one having trouble. What should I do? So you should email help@smartmarketer.com, and we'll send you a direct link to the payment page for whichever version you want. Go to Smart. If it's not working, maybe give it an hour. I don't imagine that we will fill this up tonight. I got 250 spaces to fill, and we have 50 full. We're on the webinar, so I imagine that it'll be 3 days maybe before we completely fill it up. So you got a little bit of time, but I would, if you want to be in the beta program, recommend hopping on it. When you use Amazon instead of your e-commerce store, where do we put the pre-sale page? Thanks, Joyce. Well, that's what the lead page is for, Joyce. It's for your pre-sale page. So what I'm going to suggest is that you buy a domain name and you host your pre-sale page, the page that you build in Lead Pages, right? If you're in Pin Commerce and you have access to my templates, you put that page on your website, and then you link from Pinterest or Facebook or wherever over to your website, which has your Dipsy Doodle pre-sale page on it that links out to your Don Daliber, which is your Amazon page. Okay, do you have any special training on the Dipsy Doodle? Yes, that is what this Pin Commerce is all about. I mean, look, Pinterest ads is brand new. I'm going to do 2-3 sessions. I'm going to show you everything on Pinterest ads. There's not a whole lot. There's quite a lot of things actually, but it's like, half of this training at least is on the direct response sales funnel side, on how to write the Dipsy Doodle page, how to create the template, how to set up the retargeting on the template, how to publish it, how to get it on your own website, all that kind of stuff, how to write the ads for it. So it's essentially direct response e-commerce marketing and Pinterest advertising. That's why it's Pin Advertise Profit, because we're doing all those things. I already have Pinterest ads access. Awesome. Would you be able to offer me any advice for topics on my Dipsy Doodle page? Sure, man. We'll take I don't know if it's a gal or not, but we'll be able to look at your look at your market inside of the private Facebook group and tell you what we think you should do articles on and all that kind of stuff. We'll give you ideas for that. You can post and just ask, hey, what do you think I should do? And then we can try to give you some ideas. Let's see. What are the conditions to be accepted for Pinterest ads? I mean, must you have a website? Yes, you absolutely must have a website. So you got to buy a domain name, like I said, put up a Shopify store if you want to do that, or use Wix or something simple. But you need a website. I'd recommend throwing up a Shopify store or a WordPress website so you have something. Verify your website, do that, and then start Pinterest pre-gaming. That's all you need to get accepted. Should the boards you create whilst you wait also be related to the market that you're interested in? Yes. All the content should be related to your market if at all possible, right? So, that's a good idea. Amazing webinar as usual. Thank you so much. Hey, I got to go. Okay, see you later. Do you use WordPress for your landing pages? No, we're using Lead Pages connected to our Shopify store. That landing page that you see is actually on our Shopify store. You're going to be using Lead Pages if you're in Pin Commerce, and it's going to be able to connect to whichever one you want. Let's see here. Just wanted to say thanks for doing this. My brain is exploding with ideas. Can't wait for Pin Commerce. Carrie just walked back in the room. You want to say hi to anyone?
Hi.
She doesn't really like when I call her out on the webinars and stuff, so I don't usually do it. But this was she brought me an orange. I'm gonna take a quick second to eat an orange because it smells really good, and then I'll keep answering questions. My voice needs just a second of a break.
Well, mucusy. A little dry.
Not mucusy anymore. If you were here at the beginning of the call, you would have heard Carrie tell me that my voice is mucusy and that I've been using throat spray, by the way.
Good.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I'm so glad. Ezra tends to get really excited, and then he just keeps on talking, and he doesn't sometimes take care of his voice. So I got him this herbal voice spray, soothing throat spray.
It's super good. It's called Herb Farm Immune Support.
You sound pretty good.
Yeah, I've been
going for hours.
I've been immune supported here, girl. Come on.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Okay, so let's keep going on these questions here. Actually, let's take a quick break of questions because I'm just unbelievably curious about what's going on Facebook. See what else we got. My goodness, look at all these posts here. 70 more posts. Look at all these posts. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely crazy. Oh my God. Some of these pictures are so funny, honey. They got like people and their dogs and look at that. See the dog? You got a bunch of people keep reposting the Pin Commerce or the Dipsy Doodle baby. That seems to be pretty popular. And everyone's giving me real nice selfies. Super funny.
Dog with flowers.
Oh, I got some friend requests too. Hey, look, while you're at it, if you're going to friend request me, please go over to my Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/meet Ezra, facebook.com/meet Ezra, and like my Facebook page. I'd love to have you as a fan of my Facebook page. And I post really cool stuff on there. So another way that you can stay engaged with me, and follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Ezra Firestone. I got so many tweets. Look at this, 25 new tweets. Whoa, I don't even know what that is. No idea. Oh, that's a gal. Okay.
The chicken.
Ezra Firestone kept me awake at work with his Pinterest webinar. Oh man, a bunch of people want to win the iPad. I've now promised more than one iPad, so we'll have to. What in the heck is that, dude? That's why that's scary looking.
You turned into a
cat.
tiger.
Dipsy Doodle baby. All right, guys, let's get back to some Q&A here. Take one more bite of the orange. We are now over 50 members of Pin Commerce, which is really exciting. Let's go ahead and get back to our Q&A. 500 people still on the line after 2 hours. That's pretty wild. All right. I'm living in China, so will the training be recorded if I can't join live? Yes, absolutely, it will be recorded. My Visa card was declined, but my PayPal worked. That's really interesting. Must be having some card troubles there. You must be international. Maybe you're international. If you're international, then that's probably why. Are you using Universal Analytics? Yes, we are in Google. Help, I'm trying to get in. I've entered my name and email, but it keeps taking me back to enter the name and email boxes. Cynthia, I'm so sorry about that. Please email help@smartmarketer.com. We will make sure you get in. I just started on Amazon. I've got no reviews yet. Would the pin course be good for me or should I wait? It just depends on where you're at in your business. I think this is a good thing to do to advertise your Amazon business. If you've got the capacity and the time and the energy and the surplus to do it, then I would do it. If not, I wouldn't. Will you be covering how to set up and use Google Analytics in the course? Yes, I will. I will be talking about Google Analytics and how to add that to your lead page and your domain and all that stuff. Do you have a tutorial for using Google Analytics? Yes, I do. I'll be showing that because, we're using Google Analytics in our promoted pins. That's how we're tracking our sales. Now, you won't be able to do that with Amazon, but you will be able to at least track what's going on your sales page. So we are absolutely going to include that. When is the course going to start? It's going to start on the 23rd. Does Lead Pages have tracking so we can track clicks and conversions? It has the ability to track clicks depending on whether or not you're going to Amazon. If you're going from Lead Pages to Amazon, I'm not sure about the tracking. I have to look into that for you. But it doesn't matter. It's going to work for you. Let's see. What's going on here? Okay. Same question we already answered. Yes. Thanks, Ezra, and thanks for the bottle of Grange last year at Superfast Business. Nick is the winner of the bottle of Grange at Superfast. Kevin McIsaac had a problem with his order. Kevin, just go ahead and send us an email to help@smartmarketer.com, and we will get you sorted out. No worries. Chelsea was the first one on Instagram. I'm currently still setting up my website through Shopify. Will you be doing SOPs like your Shopify course in Austin, Texas, or recording so I can hopefully catch up at some stage? Yes, we will be doing that. Kevin is in, baby. All right. Happy to have you in. Darren saying he's putting in the correct email address. It's still not working for him. We might be having some kind of problem, Darren. Not 100% sure if we are or not. So maybe just shoot us an email and we'll take a look. We'll make sure to get you in, though. How quickly will we have access to the recordings of the live training? I will have those recordings up the same day. So we will do the training, and then I will render it, and I will upload it that same night. It may take me until the following morning, depending on how long the recordings are. But I will be sure to get them up very quickly. Okay. Please wait for me, Ezra. My PayPal's not working. No, don't worry, Lisa. Just Quita. Just send us an email. Say, hey, it's Quita. I tried to order when there were only 50 orders, and I want to make sure that I get in, and we'll get you in. Zach and Jessica McCoy in the beta course. All right. Jeff wants to know if we ever plan on moving back to Hawaii. It's funny that you mentioned that, because right now we're actually in the process of purchasing a house in upstate New York, about an hour away from New York City. And we're not we don't want to be in New York for the winters anymore because it's just too rough, man. It's just like it's a little too rough to be in New York for the winters. So what we're going to do is we're going to be in California for most of the we'll be in California for most of the winter, and we're going to spend a month or so in Hawaii each year. And we may look at purchasing a house here. One of my team members, Papine, just shot me an email with direct links. If you can't get the page to load, you can also go to tinyurl.com/pincommerce dash, that's not how you spell that, pincommerce dash OnePay. And when you do that, it will take you directly to our shopping cart to order. And you can also do /3pay. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll pop those over in here. And that way you guys can have access to those links. So /OnePay, send that out. So maybe try that if you can't get the page to load, and maybe that'll work for you. All right, let's get back to the Q&A here. Okay, let's keep going. I just signed up for PinCommerce. So CeeLo, yes, the answer to your question is yes. Just shoot us an email to help@smartmarketer.com, help@smartmarketer.com, and we will get that sorted out for you. Don't forget the Instagram pictures. Don't worry. I promise you, my wife and I, Carrie's here. She's going to help me. We're going to look at every one of the pictures on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and we're going to pick out a bunch of winners, and we're going to send you, we're going to message you and tell you how to get your cool stuff. Great presentation, Ezra. Hey, Ezra, have you seen any great campaigns done with direct sales/party plan companies? I have not seen any campaigns on Pinterest for those types of companies. Pinterest is still really new, so I don't know if I haven't seen anything like that yet, but I'm sure it sounds like a good market, like you do well with it. Let's see. What's the URL again? /pin. How do we get to your e-commerce bootcamp? My e-commerce bootcamp is really only for people who are already doing $15,000 to $20,000 a month on Amazon or more. If you are already doing more than $20,000 a month on Amazon, and you want to build out a Shopify e-commerce platform the way that I do it with my pre-purchase sales funnels and my post-purchase sales funnels, and the way that the marketing and the automation and all that, my team and I do offer a boot camp where we do that over the course of 3 days. We have one coming up in May. What you can do is you can actually just go to smartmarketer.com, and I'll show you. Come over here. You can then go to our homepage of Smart Marketer, and there is a post under our recent post section that says behind the scenes at the Smart Marketer e-commerce bootcamp. And what you can do is you can click on that, and that will take you to a post that will show you a behind the scenes video of one of our boot camps and kind of give you some insight on what it is. And then if you want to get more details on the boot camp and apply to join the boot camp and be a part of our e-commerce boot camp, you can go ahead and get more details right there on how to do that. But I would recommend that you kind of watch this, and then when you go to get more details, make sure that you thoroughly watch the video here that will take you through what the deal is with the boot camp, how it works, and all that kind of stuff, because it's really something that you got to thoroughly understand before, and I will not let you in if you're not already successful. If you're not already successful, you need to focus on something like PinCommerce and get your sales funnels down and that kind of thing, and start making some money. And then you can talk to me about the boot camp. Let's see. Someone said ads.pinterest.com didn't work. I just tested it. It's live. So how do you feel about automation on other social networks, i.e. following users on Twitter? Sam's pushing this automation thing. I do not do anything that is against the policies of any of the networks. I really don't. I'm all about following the rules and being an upstanding citizen of the social networks, because I like to advertise there and I want them to be happy with me. So I don't do any auto following or any of that kind of stuff. Twitter is not going to make you any money as an e-commerce merchant anyways, really. Focus better is on Instagram and Pinterest and Facebook, so I wouldn't worry about it. The purchase page is not working, Cynthia said. Cynthia, sorry about that. We are probably just because there's so many people trying to do it, so you may want to try back in a little bit. Do you have any good copywriters that you would recommend? Yes, we've got some recommendations of people that we can recommend for copywriting. My good friend and business partner has a website called mywriters.com where he does some copywriting. And you're going to learn copywriting inside of Pin Commerce. So we're going to teach you how we run how we write our pre-sale pages. Should I start a Shopify site now or wait for your training program on Pin Commerce? Pin Commerce is not about Shopify websites. So if you're going to do a Shopify site for Pinterest so that you have a website, go ahead and just sign up for Shopify and follow their tutorials, because we're not really going to be going into any detail on Shopify e-commerce businesses. We're going to touch on them. We're going to talk about it, but it's not really a focus of the Pin Commerce course. When does this course start? It starts March 23rd. March 23rd. James from Boston is in. Awesome, James. Super happy to have you. Why is Pinterest suddenly the preferred choice of traffic to advertise on? I mean, it's suddenly the preferred choice of traffic because it's suddenly making us significantly more profit than anywhere else. Like I said, I think that Facebook and Pinterest are probably equal in my favorite advertising sources right now, because Facebook offers the volume that Pinterest doesn't have at the moment, and Pinterest offers the conversion value, the high conversion rate. So it's not like all of a sudden I just decided, oh my God, Pinterest is the way to go, and now I'm just like, praising the joys of Pinterest because I made this decision. I didn't make the decision. I tested the platform and it worked really well. So I decided to tell you guys about it, and do what I do best, which is training programs and stuff like that. So it wasn't like I just made this decision. I'm going to take a spray of the throat thing. Hold on. Okay, man, this stuff works really well. Let's see. What do we got here? So I'm the only attendee on the Pinterest webinar who's in the leather business, 40 plus years. I'm working on a website to sell beautiful French calf leather to home-based and small-based business craft people. I enjoyed your family history. I know folks driving U-Haul trailers to sell Austin. I know folks driving with U-Haul trailers to sell leather to Amish farmers. How cool is that? Ezra, you are not authorized to see this page. Oh wait, that's the message you got. Yeah, sorry about that. Card issue. Go ahead and email us or try it again. Might just be because there's a lot of people trying. If you convert your personal account to a Pinterest business account, do you delete all the old non-relevant boards? No, do not delete anything. Create new boards. Leave those other boards there. Do not delete. Do not delete. Do not delete. What business type did you go with? Other, retailer, brand, etc. I would go with brand, because you're a brand, and that's what you got. So I would use brand as the business type. The boards can be used even if you don't have Pinterest ads. Just use boards. You can tell I'm not familiar with Pinterest. Not sure what you're asking there. Are you able to explain the verify your website step when you sign up for Pinterest? I don't quite understand it. Sure. So basically websites, every website has this thing called source code. So you can view the source code and you can see all these different things that make up the website. This is what makes the website look the way it looks. And one of these tags is called the head tag. Now Pinterest gives you a piece of code that you need to place between the opening head tag, which is this one here, which you can't see, it's probably too small on your screen, and the closing head tag. So you need to, on your website, whatever it is, figure out how to place a tag in the header. Now, if you can't place a tag in the header, then you got to get yourself someone who knows how to do that, because that will help you. Someone who can help you, because that's what you're going to need to do. Have a great webinar, Ezra. Thank you so much. It was been great. Is it okay to have boards that are only related to your audience interests and just do promoted pins for something not directly related to your product? It is okay to have boards that are only related to your audience's interests, but just don't do promoted pins for something not directly to your product. Yes. So it's okay to have boards on Pinterest about anything you want, anything that you're interested in. It's not okay to promote a pin that leads to a Dipsy Doodle pre-sale page that is not related to your product, because that's not going to convert. It's not okay in the eyes of Pinterest. Pinterest doesn't care what you promote, but you're not going to make any money. And if you're asking a similar question, which is it's not okay to promote, like for example, you can't do a makeup article and then bid on recipe key terms. You've got to have the pin that you're promoting be somewhat relevant to the terms that you're bidding on. Let's see. Sam says, how many Dipsy Doodle pages can you actually create on t-shirts? Is there kind of a limit, and should all the blogs be in these formats you specified at the beginning? Look, this is direct response advertising. There is no right way. There's no one right way. The way that I'm doing is the way that works for me. I've been doing direct response Dipsy Doodle pre-sale pages for a long time, and I've come up with a good formula for it. You could lay it out however you want. Sorry, I thought someone was talking back here. You could lay it out however you want. You don't have to do it any certain way. I recommend the way that I'm doing it because it works, you know. Hey, Ezra, will you be emailing a link to these slides at some point? Yes, guys, I will get you access to these slides. Don't worry. Let's see. Thank you, Ezra. Having payment issues, but I sent you an email. Lots of people having some payment issues. Sorry about that. Not sure if I'm the right audience. My product won't go live till the next week or after. It just depends on where you're at. You know, it's not so much about whether or not your Amazon product's live. It's about where you are in your business and whether or not you've got surplus time and energy to learn direct response marketing and surplus money to be able to afford it, to be able to afford to advertise and afford the training program. How much in this course are we going to focus on Facebook while we ramp up for Pinterest? We're not going to focus a whole lot on it. I'll show you some Facebook. I'll talk to you a little bit about Facebook, but it's not a Facebook course. It's a direct response sales funnel course. It's not a course on how to do Facebook advertising. It's a course on how to do e-commerce, direct response sales funnels, and Pinterest advertising. So you may have to wait until you get Pinterest ads. I will talk a little bit about Facebook because I'm good at Facebook, but this is, don't buy this course thinking it's a Facebook advertising course, because it's not. What is your take on video pins? Could video pins be promoted on Pinterest? Absolutely, video pins can be promoted on Pinterest. In fact, it's on our list of things to test. I don't think that you'll get click through as much, but who knows? Who knows? You could try it, and we're definitely going to try it. So Chingle, my buddy Chingle's taken off. How soon do we get the link to this recorded presentation? I'm going to try to render this thing up and have it up by tonight. So don't worry, I'm going to try to get this thing up soon, or maybe tomorrow at the latest. I don't know. Thank you so much, Ezra. Great presentation. Thanks, Ezra. Great presentation. I just joined. All right. By the way, guys, we now have, how many do we got? 55. My goodness. No, 60. Wow. This is so cool. So cool. So lots of folks got locked out, unfortunately. That's no fun, but it's okay because we have the recording. Ezra, always a joy to spend time with you. It was wonderful to see you at ASM4 in Vegas. I have to leave the webinar now. My journey is still very much in its infancy, but I'm going to get there. Mike from Rossland. Awesome. Snow Country. Ezra, what about the tip to get approved? Did you mention it already? Yes, I did mention it. The tip to get approved is called Pinterest pre-gaming. And what it is, basically what they said is that they are adding people to the Pinterest ads account each week. They're adding new Pinterest ads accounts, lots of new Pinterest ads accounts each week, and they're choosing the ads accounts based on organic Pinterest engagement. So if you pin every day, if you put up a bunch of boards, pin a whole bunch of stuff, and then pin every day, you're going to have a more engaged account, and you're going to have a much more better chance of getting added, because they're adding tons of new people each week. Thanks for the info, Ezra. Great webinar. It's 3:20 a.m. Let's see. Do you ever directly link from Facebook to your Shopify store? No, we directly link from Facebook to our Dipsy Doodle pre-sale pages that then go to our Shopify store. That's how we do that. We don't direct link from Facebook unless it's retargeting. If it's retargeting, we do direct link, because then they've already seen our website. So 3 a.m. in Germany, awesome seminar. I'll be joining you for Pin Commerce. Awesome. By the way, it's smartmarketer.com/Pin Commerce. Would love to have you in it. Would love to take you through the creation of your direct response sales funnels. Great call. Dennis says, thank you, Dennis. Someone spelled my name Azura, Azurra, even though my name is prominently displayed on the screen as Ezra, Ezra. I get some funny spellings, man. I get some stuff like weird stuff. So he says, Azura, when I signed up, it was somebody's information in the name boxes already. It said, whoa, I don't know why that would happen. That's a little strange. Okay, now then he, I think maybe what happened was Rob was talking into his phone or something, which is why I gave him the funny name. What if you don't have lead pages and use ClickFunnels? If you use ClickFunnels, you will not be able to use my Dipsy Doodle pre-sale page template. I will give you the PSD file so that you can, or I actually might even code it into HTML for you. In fact, I will do that for the Pin Commerce members. I will code the page into HTML so that it may take me a week or two, so that you guys can have it and use it that way. So that'd give you a way to use it if you're not using lead pages. But lead pages is so cheap, it's $37 or something. I recommend using it. Good night, wonderful talk. Thank you so much. I need to pee, but I'm trying to stay till the end. Go ahead, pee, Lisa. You're gonna get the replay, so don't worry about it. I have to pee all the time too, so I just get up and go. Let's see. Do you need a personal website if you're selling products like t-shirts via platforms like Teespring? Yes, you're going to need to verify your website because I don't think you can link directly from Pinterest to Teespring, but you're probably not going to want to promote that way. You're probably going to want to do a Dipsy Doodle page. I'm not 100%. You can't put anything in the head tag of Teespring as far as I know. So in order to verify your website, you're going to need a site. If we get a Shopify store, will that be enough, or do we need a domain name in addition? You are going to need a domain name as well, and I'm going to show you how to do that inside the course, how to set up your Shopify store so that with your domain name and all that kind of thing, so that you can get approved on Pinterest, and how to put the head tag on it and all that. Let's see. Just for clarification, is the pre-sale page our website and the sales page Amazon, saying that we are selling on Amazon? Yes. If you're going to Amazon, what you're doing is you're running traffic from Pinterest to your Dipsy Doodle pre-sale page on your website, and then that Dipsy Doodle pre-sale page links out to Amazon, which is your Amazon product. So Pinterest offered me access to promoted pins for a different business, but I want to promote something else. Yeah, you can totally use that Pinterest business account. Just create a couple boards that are relevant to your other product, create a pin that's relevant, run it to a Dipsy Doodle page, and you're good to go. Good for you, man. Good for you. Doesn't lead pages get dinged by Facebook? So Jeff, the way that we use lead pages is we actually put the lead page on our website. So you can still run the lead pages from Facebook just fine, but I would recommend actually taking the lead page that they give you and putting it on your website, which we'll show you how to do. And lead pages actually has really good tutorials on that, on how to do that. So take a look here. Melissa says, thank you. I'm just going to check one thing here, see how we're doing on time. All right. When you get approved, you don't start to advertise right away. Yes. And if you get approved and don't start to advertise right away, will that hurt? No, that will not hurt you. So Ezra, just confirming if I'm going to do the boot camp. Okay. Let's see. I sell workout clothing for women. How can I create a landing page for that? That's pretty easy. You do some stuff about the top 5 fitness tips or something like that, for women, or there's a lot of stuff you could do with that. Basically, if your product solves a problem, then you can write an article about it, and every product solves a problem. Every product solves a problem. So there is no such thing as a product that can't have a pre-sale article about it. Can you look at Instagram? I followed you on Instagram. Let me see how many people we got going on Instagram. See what's going on here. Okay, Sandra Reed. I just got an email, text from one of my guys. Sandra Reed, if you are on the call still, please send help@smartmarketer.com, your working email address. So we want to make sure that we're able to communicate with you, Sandra Reed. So we are filling this thing up, which is really exciting. Someone says that I said that this stuff was disgusting. Is Promoted Pins the advertising end of Pinterest? Yes, Promoted Pins is the advertising network that Pinterest uses. So that's what, it's Pinterest's advertising network. We sent you a picture on Instagram. I can see that. My goodness, do I have a lot of pictures on Instagram, so I'm going to have to go through all those. Let's see. Signing up. All right, I nearly posted in the shower. Yeah, I probably don't want to post naked pictures. That'll get you in trouble. I was listening to you while showering at the gym and took a selfie. I want the iPad. A lot of people showering. I don't know how you're listening to this in the shower. So we'll take a couple more questions, then we're going to close it down, and you guys get the replay. So will retargeting also be covered with Pin Commerce? Yes, we will be talking about how to do retargeting. Should we have a different Pinterest ads account for every brand, or can we market multiple brands from one Pinterest ads account? You can market multiple brands from one Pinterest ads account, but if you can get multiple Pinterest accounts, then that's the way to go for sure. Do you use Facebook video ads? Yes, I do, but I don't use them for direct response marketing. I use them for content marketing. What was the link for Shopify again? The Shopify link was, I'll just put it up here, shopify.com/smart marketer, like that. So if we grab that URL, copy it, and we come over here, we should be able to go over to Shopify and so you can't have capital S. It's got to be not capital. S and the M can't be capitalized on Smart and Marketer. And that should take you to this page where you can get a free trial of Shopify for 45 days and 20% off. So my voice is going, guys. I'll just remind you one more time what you get inside of Pin Commerce. You get a 4-week look over my shoulder coaching program where we explore Pinterest ads in greater detail and show you how they're working. But more importantly, you get my pre-sale engagement copywriting secrets and my funnels and trainings for that. My pre-sale Dipsy Doodle pre-sale page template inside of lead pages and coded HTML. Case studies, campaigns, landing pages, other sources that we use, 3 months of private Facebook group coaching, the Pinterest pre-gaming sequence, our webinar-only bonuses, which is our landing page and split testing training, and our, what was the other webinar-only bonus? It was, for Amazon, that's right. How to set it up for Amazon. And you also get in at half price as a beta member. Of Pin Commerce. When we re-release it, it's going to be more expensive. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to hang out with me for and a lot of you have been on for 2 hours and 40 minutes, some longer because you've been here since the beginning. So really, really appreciate you joining the call. I will go ahead and send an email out that will have the winners of the contest. So we'll go ahead and pick those winners and send that out in the email when we send out the replay. Again, you can do this. You really can. You may not be able to make much money as I'm making. You also might make more. My results are not typical. I work really hard for this. Pinterest is new and it's exciting, and there's a lot of opportunity with it, and I think you can be successful with it as well. So thank you so much. Go to smartmarketer.com/pin if you'd like to be inside of the Pin Commerce beta. Tag me on Facebook for your chance to win. We're not going to pick until a little bit later tonight. We're going to take a little break, have some lunch. People are saying, thank you so much. God bless you. You do some great stuff. Thank you, Ezra. Awesome stuff. Everyone was inspired by the Dipsy Doodle, baby. Felt it necessary to create an Australia version. Thanks again for all the great info. That's awesome. You're so welcome, guys. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you spending time with me. I love this stuff, and I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the Smart Marketer community. And without you guys, we can't do this. You make this possible, all of you. So you're all participating in this, and e-commerce is only growing. I'm looking 5-10 years ahead and thinking, my God, where are we going to be? We're the guys who are here now. Where there's a very, very small part of our population who is paying attention to how to spread messages through the online medium, and especially how to do that and be able to make a living at it and inspire people and promote good products and stuff. And so if you hang out with us, we're going to continue to do this. Our businesses are going to continue to grow, and yours can too. So thank you so much. And I'll catch up with you guys on the Smart Marketer blog and on Facebook and in the Pin Commerce beta course. Thanks so much. Bye.